would we like to go out to Italy to go and do Lamborghini?
At Lamborghini at Maranello, and you've done the floor there.
He said, you saved my life. And I cried my eyes out.
And he's now on that training course with you?
Yeah. This guy's come in, pulled up in his Lamborghini G-Wagon. Who's done that flooring there? You're coming up to my headquarters in Scotland. You're doing our new showroom.
Yeah, because you said how many days is it you've been at home?
37 last year.
37 days spent the night at home. Let's say a room of this size, roughly, I don't want proper figures.
You're looking at about...
Is that it?
Season 6.
Season 6. We're not even going to bother with episodes. Season 6, Al's gone on holiday. Last time we had 3 guests in, we had the Home Improvement boys in. I got lumped to host the whole lot. And again, we've got 4 of you now. Al's strategically gone away, so I'm lumped with, I don't mind, I'll do it all on my own. Why not? So, season 6, we have got, let me get this right, Gafflow
Resin Finishes.
Gafflow Resin Finishes. I tried to put an Instagram thing out the other night and even struggled then. Gafflow Resin Finishes. So, give us a little bit of, talk to us as if we know nothing about where you've come from. And, you know, give us the whole journey of how you boys are together. Is it family? Is it friends? Is it what? So who wants to start? I was going to go through names, but I can't remember the names.
Hello.
Go on, introduce yourself.
Thank you for having us on.
Not a problem.
My name is Lou, and this is my son, Harry.
Hello.
Ollie, Harry's best friend. Stuart, my best friend. So we're all...
So you two are related, obviously.
Yeah.
Best friend...
Best friend since school,
right, okay.
and them two have known each other since school as well.
So is this all the team, or you've got more?
No, we've got other couple. We've got a centre in Birmingham, and then we're attached to another couple of guys who are our brothers also.
Yeah.
We're part of the family, but as the installation team of what we do, we're the installation team. We've got a training team as well who helps us, but we're the main installers.
And what is it exactly what you do then? Talk us through exactly the whole.
So we do
basis.
we do decorative epoxy resin finishes, and anyone who doesn't know about epoxy, it's been around since the 30s. The Germans invented it, and they used it for many loads of things, such things, but it was more industrial purposes. Over the years, it's changed. The evolution of everything. The Americans claimed it as theirs. In recent years, it's becoming more of a finishing. Before it was made for commercial, now it's become more of a finishing in the decorative side of things. So we can make beautiful, seamless effects with colours and the resin.
And it goes off hard, and it is a hard, solid finish.
It's a solid hard finish. It's flexible. It's flexible. It's just a seamless hardware and unique floor where you can just design. Every floor will be different.
You can have whatever you want, can't you?
Whatever you want.
Now this, I was going to say,
endless.
with Jack, I don't know, if you're listening to this podcast, I suggest you go onto YouTube and visually watch it, because if it's all right with you, Jack, can you put a lot of what they do up on screen for the YouTube, because you've got to see it, because what you boys do visually looks stunning. Now, if you're obviously listening on Spotify or whatever to the podcast, take some time out, go and watch this one on YouTube, and have a look, because we'll put some pictures up of the work that you do. So when you're talking through them, because there is some that you've done for Lamborghini, and there's some that you've done in nightclubs, we'll get onto them.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We've been at it a long time now, me and Harry. So me and Harry was coming out of school. I've always been arty crafty.
So what are you? You by trade,
I'm a plasterer by trade.
So you're a plasterer by trade.
But I'm a multi-trader. I used to do tiling.
Right.
I used to have a small bathroom and kitchen company, renovate and do small renovations.
Is that what you've always done then?
Yes,
is it?
ever since I come out of school. All my uncles were all tradesmen, and I used to juggle about between them. And then when I was younger, 17 just had Harry, I was invited to come and help some guys do some resin flooring and industrial system. I absolutely loved it. I had my top off on a hot summer's day, and I was helping them. They said, put your top back on because you're going to regret it. And all right, and I was covered in sticky for days. But I loved it. It was just something sensory about it, and I really enjoyed it.
So at that point you was like, I'm done with plastering?
No, it wasn't. Harry was young, and I was a young family trying to make a go of it. And at the time, the company that offered me the job was all around the world, all around the country, and it wouldn't have been convenient for me at that time to go. Yeah. But it was always in my head. So I went on for years and years and years, plastering, tiling, building. And then back in 2015, 2016, it was social media, and 15 it was, social media was there. And my friend showed me, look at these floors that are coming out. That's epoxy resin. So I was looking into it more and more and more. I ordered some materials that I found online. They come, right, let's have a go. It's some arty crafty anyway, I used to paint.
And just had a go.
Had a go, ruined loads of stuff, but it looked cool.
You must have had half a clue from what you picked up prior to it.
Yeah,
you had half a clue going into it.
But not a lot. So what I'd done was we started doing them on some boards, and we wasn't getting it right. I thought, right, we've got to go on a course for this. There must be a course out there. So I hunted for a course, found a course. One guy was from America, come over to the UK, and he was doing this new thing. So we've gone on the course, me and Harry, for 5 days. Come out of there, and felt we loved it. We loved everything about it, and so we decided, went home, bought loads of products, practiced on loads of boards and different things, and got the confidence up. I had a bathroom job come in, so I showed my client, look, this is a new thing that we're doing. So our first run was...
So you was doing the bathrooms at the same time as this?
It was. We had a building company still ticking. And I used it as a little platform. So I was showing my customer, look at these new finishes. Be honest with you, we haven't done any of them yet. Yeah. But we're passionate and we're willing to have a go. So they loved it, and we had a really tricky one the first one, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a wet room, wasn't it?
We had a wet room shower tray, and we wanted shower panels in there, and we had to run all the new waste, which is all right. But if you've got an adjustment, once you've plied your floor down and then you've designed it, you've got no access back underneath. So there was that aspect of things. So we had to put certain things in certain places. If there was pumps, if there was access points,
so you got access to them.
Access. So we had to do that, which was a tricky one. It came out fantastic. It was over the moon. Still great.
So with that as your first one, then you've got into that completely. You've got half a clue of how it evolves and what to do. So you've got in there. The walls are tiled, for argument's sake. The walls are tiled. You've got your bare floor. Yeah. So it's just say tongue and groove floors. What's the process then from going from a completely bare floor to the resin finish, the epoxy finish?
On this time, they had old floorboards, just floorboards down. Yeah. So we 18 mil plied on top of them. Yeah. We screwed them down, staggered the joints, screwed them down at 150 mil apart from each other. Yeah. Everything that we was told, and I had sleepless nights leading up to this job. I was just thinking about it, going over it,
thinking about the floor,
and it was at the time. It was more thinking about the design. It wasn't about the actual side of preparation side of things, because being a floor layer, I'm a plasterer, I know. But
so that preparation is pretty similar to just having a tile floor, and 18 mil ply,
Antico, something like that. Yeah. So the preparation's almost exactly the same. So anyway, we plied it down, done the process nice. We took it slowly, didn't we?
Yeah,
it
we
was
took
really
time
slow.
with it.
And we still speak to the lady now, and this was 5-6 years ago, and it's
still going
lovely.
strong.
So what design did she have on that? What?
It was, I'll show you, it was one of our orange
and copper, wasn't it?
Orange and coppers with a bit of black in it.
She showed us a stone in Cornwall, I remember. Showed us a stone in Cornwall for the wall. It was replicating, it had like copper, bright orange copper going through it with some black and grey veins.
So that went across the whole floor, into the shower area as well?
And at the walls, we've done the splashbacks as well. So you can do the resin vertical and then stick it up onto the wall.
Right, okay.
So we've done the splashbacks as well for them. So it all just synced into one with the shower tray, down into the wall.
And that was the first one that you ever did.
And it's probably one of the most intricate ones from beginning.
There, we've done massive things
ones,
now, but it was
that was because it's so much thought in it, and it was hard work.
So at that point, you've done that one, and you step back, and the customer's paid you for it, and she's happy as Larry with it. What's your thought process then? You've gone,
this is for us.
What the floor inside of it's for you. So you thinking, right, let's get away from the install, the bathroom installs, and just concentrate on the flooring.
To be honest with you, what it was, we had this little company going. It was ticking over nicely. We had some. I was in 3 miles of my home. I'll get to this in a minute. 37 nights in my bed I had last year. Yeah. And I was in 3 mile radius.
See, just chatting with you boys before we started this, the graph that you lot are doing up and down the country. And that's just I found knackered when you're telling me, so I don't know what you boys are like doing it, but you cannot fault the work ethic that you've got.
We put our all into it.
Thank you. And we're all on the same warpath. I mean, every one of us, we've got the same passion, hunger, belief in it, and we're all in it together. And one day I'm not feeling it, and we've been in situations in the middle of the country, and we've got a job up north on the Monday, and we're on a Saturday, and shall we go home or shall we get cracking on the job? I'm going home, and one of them say, come on, let's go and get started. So Go
See,
right
that's
to the left.
massive because there's a lot of times when people will work for a company. Obviously, you two are family. You two work It's your company.
It's our company, yeah.
Your two companies.
I call it all our
It's
company.
all our company.
But
Okay,
on
but
paper,
you-
it's us.
Yeah, okay. So you're employed by them. A lot of people, when they're employed by a company, will go, I work from this time to this time. And sometimes I might do a couple of hours extra. But you boys are doing...
Time don't exist to us.
So that tells me
Time's
that
just a
you,
number.
as the owner, look after your lads.
100%.
See them right, because you're willing to spend weekends away from your families and stuff like that. And that's I think that's a massive sort of shout to you as a person that these boys are willing to do that for you.
Thank you. And do you know what? I appreciate it, and I'm so grateful for it. And we were saying this, if it was one of us, it takes the whole team to make this happen. We're just the showman. I'm just the frontman, and I look at it as a band. You've got the drummer, you've got the guitar. It takes the whole band to make it play.
Yeah.
And if there's a failure in that, the song ain't going to come out as well.
Yeah.
So
Like
we've all
that.
got our own divisions, and when a job goes well, we all treat each other. Everyone gets treated, and we have it good.
Yeah.
When it does happen, it does go bad, and things do happen, like they do on every job. Then we all got to take the swallow on that one. There's swings and roundabouts, and we go again.
Because I suppose with what you do, if you're doing it on a massive, say for instance, the area of this podcast room, you got an issue with the floor in the centre of it. The whole lot's got to come.
Whole
up
lot's
then,
got to
innit?
be redone. You can there is ways around it, but to make it
to do it right.
It's all
So that's
good.
when
It depends what the problem is, of course,
So,
as well.
so if something like that happens, you all go right. We're in it here, boys. Let's pull our socks up. We'll
And the
smash
thing is,
into it.
one of them, if you're just working, I've worked for people for all my life when I was younger, and I understand how it is to be on both sides of the fence. And if things are going bad, it is a part of the team of putting yourself together and say, right, let's sort this out together. And because our trustees have all got the same passion and hunger as I am, and it's been nice for me recently because I can now step back a little bit and concentrate on what I'm doing. And Ollie's coming up as a designer now. Ollie's an electrician, spent 5 years at college, and over the last 2 years he's been with us, coming to and from. He's full time, and the electrics has gone now. But we've got Ollie's coming up as a designer. Stuart's our prep guy. He takes care of all our prep. Harry used to do the prep, but Stuart's 30 odd years in the game.
Yeah.
And he's not interested in designing. He just loves what he does, and he's got OCD what he does. And in my opinion, he's one of the best I've ever seen him before. And that reflects all in the final outcome.
I suppose something what you do, the preparation. It's the same with everything, really. Preparation's key.
It's all in the preparation.
So obviously you've got you two, and then Stuart, the prep guy. So what's your background in Stu? You've come straight from school into doing what you do now.
Me and school didn't get on very too well.
We get that so much on the podcast. Tradespeople tend to be. It's quite bad, really. That we all done shit at school. Not shit, but you didn't do even. Oh yeah, what do you say? What we worked out earlier. How old are you?
41.
41, and you've
years,
been doing it 30 years. We was like, hang on a minute then. That means Nate did some sums on his calculator watch and worked out that you're sort of like 11 years old and you was bang into it. So you'd been school off.
Yeah, I worked for a family friend. He had a carpet warehouse down in South London.
Yeah.
Didn't like school, so I used to bunk off, jump on the bus, go down there.
Bunk off to work.
Yeah, and then either work in the warehouse or if one of the fitters needed me, happily go out with the fitters.
He fitted my nan and granddad's house when I was 14.
Well, I was
What, you
14,
done it?
Yeah.
Fair
He
play.
passed away now, my granddad, but I used to love him when he was
Really?
14. He was when he.
So you're just a grafter then, ain't you?
Yeah, always have been.
And it's instilled in you from early days.
I used to working away, so it was nothing new to me working away. To be honest, I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
There's something about, well, I've not worked away from home that often, but when I have, it seems to be, if you're not working, you'll be in the pub.
Yeah,
or you'll be.
it's like a bit of holiday as well, isn't it?
So you're either on the piss spending money, or you just work a little bit later.
Yeah.
And like you just said, we just get it done while we're here. We've got nothing else to do. We don't know the area, ain't got people, friends around here.
Yeah.
We'll just crack on with it.
Yeah.
The only killer is sometimes the drying times.
Yeah,
You get yourself
for you
waiting
boys.
around.
Yeah. But so for you then, Stu, you've done your time with your carpet companies and that, and then was you working on your own, working for yourself, or always?
As soon as I was 17, got my driving licence, I was out.
You was out. So you was doing little bits, and then when did when did these boys come knocking for you then?
I knew Lou when I was that sort of age, when I'd done his granddad's, etc.
So you say you went to school together?
No, we didn't.
No,
we went,
right.
we went different
Mutual
schools
friends.
together.
But you knew each other from local?
Knew each other, yeah.
Yeah, we knew each other.
So at what point of your story then did you get Stu
this is
involved?
a weird-
How did it expand? Obviously,
this is-
you've done that first job, that bathroom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you've gone, there's some legs in this,
Yeah.
let's go. So at that point, it's just the two of you?
Well, yeah, we was doing it for our own for about a couple of years, weren't we? Me and you, for about 2 or 3 years, just me and Dad. And then you and Stu met each other at a charity football game, wasn't it?
This is what happened, right? I'll be honest. Stuart was really down in the dumps at one point. I was down. I was going through some problems. This is a couple of years ago. We coincidentally we wasn't both going to this football game. We both went to this football game, bumped into each other. Stuart was down. I was down. He said, "Oh, good to see you. I ain't seen you for a long time. I said, I ain't seen you." I said, "You still doing flooring?" He went, "Yeah." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing resin floors." His ears pricked up.
Had you done any resin flooring before?
I'd been trying to get into resin flooring for, I don't know, I'll say 10 years.
Because you could
or take
see
10 years.
what
I
was
could
coming
see
with it.
what the potential was.
Right,
But every person that I'd seen do it wasn't up to my standards.
yeah. And then
So
you then
bumped into him.
stroke a look, bump
Yeah,
into him.
Bumped into him. I wasn't going to go to the football game. He said exactly the same. It was literally a mile away from the house.
It was, yeah.
Right,
A mutual friend's brother's passed away, so it's charity football.
right, okay.
Yeah.
So you
and the
two got
rest-
chatting,
We got chatting.
fancy getting on board.
We just got a little unit, a centre up where near our place up in Eastbourne, because I live in Eastbourne. I moved out of South London 10, 12 years ago now with my wife and 3 children, other 3 children. And so we went down to Eastbourne and then we set up a little unit, didn't we, to just do resin, a little hub there for...
Just for practicing.
Just
We've
practicing,
ruined in the garage. We've ruined
I was
the garage.
ruining
haven't we?
my house, all the floors, the concerns, the missus weren't happy, get it out there. So we went and got a little unit. And then Stuart was saying, "Can you teach us? Can you teach us? Can you teach us?" And at that time, there wasn't many people doing it. And we'd done maybe 20 odd jobs.
Done a few
or whatever.
jobs,
We'd
done
done a few jobs.
You said you was about to start training.
I was about to start training. I said, my goal is to train. He said, "Well, train me."
So at this point you was thinking, we've done 20 floors, we want to start training people to do it
bringing
now.
people
That's
around
kind
the
of
trade.
that's kind of a most people like we've done 20 floors, we're going now, we're going to climb. But straight away you've gone, I want to start teaching other people as opposed to pushing
Because
your stuff.
everyone said this, "Why are you doing that?" And our outlook was always the same. I know, being in the industry, how many tilers there are, how many plasterers there are, how many of there are of tradies. And I knew the only way for this to expand is to grow. And there's loads of work in it for everybody. It's so demanding. And I knew it was going to go bang. The Americans, we're 5 years behind the Americans, and the America is big, big, big.
Booming in America.
It's booming.
So when you're doing it at this point, sorry for keep putting in, but my head's going, this is great. When you're doing it and you've met with Stu, is it a known thing in the UK, or is no one's really
Not
doing
really.
it?
We
Not
need to.
really.
So at this point you're going, we
had to
can start
push it,
fucking
yeah,
going with
pushing
this.
it.
My idea was to train, to get some boys
To get people on board
on
with
board
the
with
resin.
it, to start getting the game going, because it was going to get going, and we was the first sort of in on it,
Yeah.
and we was loving it, and it was just
But it's interesting that you don't want all the pie.
no.
And that's what I quite like, is you don't want all the pie. You want to train people to go and to do it.
Yeah, because I think where I've been in my own self,
Yeah.
when I've realised how it is, the same as Stuart and a lot of other people don't know what they're going behind closed doors. Now, my only outlet seemed to be, rather was at the pub or when I was doing this.
Right.
When I was doing this, it was a switch off, and you hyper focus. I didn't
Yeah.
realise this till recently. I got ADHD to the brim, and didn't know it was always a problem. There's always an issue.
Yeah.
But now, so the last couple of years,
Yeah,
it's become
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
And this was like feeding me, and it was like done everything for me. I was
So it's
getting
like you're
everything out
hit.
of
You're
it.
getting a hit from.
I'm getting a hit from it.
from
And
doing
not only
that.
that, and when you go into a customer's house, like when you go, I'm the plasterers. Oh, the plasterer, they've met the plasterer, you've looked at the job. Oh, the plasterer's here. Yeah, you're upstairs, you know what you're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to have a cup of tea. That's it. Well, with this, they are with you. They
Yeah.
want to know, they want to talk about it, who you are,
With
because,
time watching.
and you've become...
They're fascinated by it,
They're
aren't they?
fascinated.
They're fascinated
Yeah.
by it. It's like... just
Oh,
bringing it
well,
out to
just
them. They
me
love it.
having a flick through Instagram the last few days of what you're doing, and I am like, this is.
Thank you.
I haven't massive. I've obviously known of it. I've never seen it done, and you just find yourself. This is why we spoke just before we started recording about you boys getting right out there with the socials and the YouTube, because visually it's mega.
Yeah.
But I I can't think of any other company that does it, and that's why I was intrigued to see at that point when Stu got on board with you, you had all the pie, if you like. So when Stu got on with you,
Yeah.
what happened then?
Stuart come down to maybe 10 of our jobs, time after time. Where are you? No matter where he was coming, and I like that. And I thought to myself,
He was asking us, where are you? I just come down,
I'm coming down to watch it. He
yeah.
finished the job off. He was doing big churches or big whatever he was doing.
Because you just
And he was
wanted
helping out,
to get in
and he was helping out doing bits of prep just to help
Yeah.
out.
I'll go and self-level that. I'll go and screen that.
Just wanted to be
Right.
part, just wanted to be a part of it.
And then we was trying, at this time, we was trying and testing all these different products and what was good and finding our own way. And what we've been taught we knew it weren't the right way. So we started adapting, tweaking our own sort of way. Then we found our own little way. And then, like you get on any job, you run into problems. Between you overcome it. Or the thing is with it, apart from getting that wow and everyone on it, it's adrenaline, but it's adrenaline. And you're about to do a floor in
One shot at.
and you got one shot at.
One shot.
You're risking
£1,000 worth of material.
thousands of
Really?
pounds of materials.
You've
And
got
you're
one
working,
shot.
you're working with chemicals, A, Bs, ratios, percentages of what's going in, and you've got very tight margins. So you're on a very thin line of it going very, very well or going horribly wrong.
Right.
There's no in between.
And it was
Yeah.
and it was a bit
It's a thin line,
that
innit?
used to excite me a little bit. And then all
It's
of
the
a
danger, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that bit of going,
Nervous,
I can
keeps you up at night.
seriously fuck this
It does
up.
keep you have
If they-
sleepless
they-
nights
you have
over it.
sleepless
You have
nights.
sleepless
Yeah.
nights
Keeps
over
you
it.
on toes. Just keep you right on your
But we
toes.
sort of plugged into something. So where I was doing the kitchens and the bathrooms, we splashbacks were the thing, but we used to say, instead of going to do balls, and we kept doing all these balls, going down buying 12mm MDF, and we're spending all this money on the balls. I thought, well, why don't we just do a big board, stick it on Marketplace, and sell it? We started doing
We
these.
started just making panels up,
so
didn't
we
we?
could make 8x4 balls, and we could get a little design going for us instead of just doing these little tiny sample balls.
Right.
And then we was
As
putting them
like
on-
tester balls.
as tester balls, as samples.
Yeah.
Then we'd be putting them on Marketplace. They were selling like hotcakes, but people chippies were
We were
cutting them
buying
in.
them, cut them in.
One of
put
a
them in
kind.
splashbacks,
Of course,
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, make
Little niches in bathrooms. and-
Exactly
Yeah.
that. So then,
Little
then
back
we was
balls.
getting
So,
paid.
so
for
your
practice.
your training side of it is still earning your dough. It's still earning
Yeah,
your
Yeah, still
money.
In our-
training.
we
You,
was-
the little offcuts and stuff, you do it off, put
Yeah.
on Marketplace. It's
Free
not going to
practice.
waste, is it?
Yeah, free practicing
It's
and
not
getting
going to
paid.
waste, and
And getting
someone will love it. That's the beauty of it. It's different in
So,
every way.
Yeah, it is, it is.
If you
Yeah.
don't
Different
like
colours.
it,
Yeah.
somebody else there'll be somebody else out there that does like it.
Yeah.
And it's all a matter of
And
opinion.
it sort of suited me because I didn't know where I sort of suited in where I was because I knew I wasn't going to be a builder forever. I knew that. I knew it weren't going to be me forever, and I didn't know. I knew I wasn't going to be a film star, and I wouldn't have interested in it. But I wanted to be. I'm arty crafty anyway. I love colour. I love creating, and I love connecting with people, and I like sharing.
Yeah.
And I think to grow in anything what you're doing, I think you've got to let go, share the pie, and you've got to grow together. Can't do it on your own. I don't think you can do it on your own, like what you guys are doing down there. I've met with your team, fantastic. And I think by connecting with people, the like-minded people with that, you grow together, even if you're in the industry, I know a man for that, and you
It's
become...
about bringing people together, isn't it?
100%.
And working with different trades locally, and like what you did, very early doors of what you're doing, you wanted to train people up.
Yeah.
That quite shocked me, actually, that you was that new to it, and already you want to teach other people. It's a good trait, that, I think.
Thank you. And now we've gone, I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about it now or whatever, but now we've gone one step further, and people come to us from all over. They've come from Malta, Finland,
Malta,
Norway,
Holland.
Ireland, Scotland today.
Denmark.
Yeah, because you've got your training centres.
It's got the training-
So
Far
before we
from
go
over.
on to the training centres, Stu's on board with you.
Yeah,
You're then growing.
yeah.
And then when does it begin to
Well,
really
the
go?
first sort of-
And then you get Ollie on board.
Well, the first
and-
sort of push was like we was doing loads of jobs, weren't we, Stu? Messing around, and we.
What sort of time? When was this?
Oh, no,
20?
last year, just last year,
Right,
but last
okay.
year,
I'd
beginning
say
of
it was the
end of
2022.
end of 2022,
So
beginning of
through COVID,
2023.
was you with them through?
No, just after COVID.
We was,
And then we sort of like
that's what we practiced.
Right,
Throughout
okay. So a
COVID.
timeline wise, just after COVID, you're in.
And then we was on about January, wasn't it? We started plugging in, and we was like, we're getting big, we're doing a few jobs, we're getting a bit of noticing a little bit. And I was just on Instagram, messing around and messaging loads of different celebrities and different...
Just cheekily dropping in.
Just cheeky dropping in, bang, 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 bang.
Saying this is what we do.
This is what we
Mate,
do.
he was
Look at
doing
our
this.
Instagram if you're interested.
Because the
It's a fan.
celebs are going to love that.
And out
That, didn't they?
of one, someone was in reply, and then we had one reply, Chloe Ferry from Geordie Shore, who said, "Yep, we'd like to take a look, we'd like to take a look at your
And that was
work.
just you?
That was just me
Dropping her
plugging
a
away.
message?
And then from that, we went up there, she loved it, and then fell in love with it, and we done the floor. And then,
So how did you sell?
That was our first-
how
that
did
was
you
our
sell
first sort
that
of
to
big
her? Because they must get. They
Well,
must get.
I noticed that she was doing her house up on Instagram.
Right,
So
okay.
I've noticed her house account. So I've gone over to her renovation account and messaged her on that.
Right.
And obviously we done it for just a bit of publicity. So
Yeah,
we done
yeah.
it for her. And then she just fell in love with it. And
So
then
you've gone up
loved it.
there
We
and
went up-
gone. This is what we can do, or you've shown her this is what we can do. Yeah, she's in. You've gone up there.
We went up there, another company stepped on our toes actually, and then this will happen. No names, but another company stepped on our toes, found out that we was doing it. We was excited. You know what I mean? And in the industry's quite bitchy now.
Yeah.
Some of them are lovely.
Is there many people doing it now?
They're starting to
There's a
go
couple of
now.
them.
Right, okay.
There
popping up.
Is there?
there's a few some good ones and some bad ones, and we.
You got a training course for the bad ones, haven't you?
So we went, didn't we? Went up there. I was on a sober journey at the time, and he sort of got my head fixed in. We just got a franchise to go and do. So we were starting to do this other little company was doing little floors. There was only little floors. There weren't nothing much.
But it was getting a bit of notice. There was getting a bit of notice. It was getting us out there enough to put on social media and to showcase what we could offer.
Yeah.
And then we got Ibiza. You met. Oh, listen, this is a story.
So you've done Chloe's.
In the middle of doing Chloe's and from talking with Chloe and actually doing Chloe's,
Yeah.
I met somebody over in a restaurant near our sort of way.
Are you on board now, Ollie?
Yeah,
Ollie's
we
on
are.
board now. Ollie's on board.
I was at the restaurant.
Ollie's on board now. And we was
So all
over.
four of you are now in.
Yeah, now we're all involved now.
It's
And then
fucking like this,
and me
isn't it?
and
I'm trying to pick it apart.
and me
get
and
where
Ollie
we-
run a night out, and we was on a and we was in
So
a
it was-
restaurant over in near our area, and I've clocked someone. I went, that's the owner of Ocean Beach over there, who owns Ocean Beach in Ibiza. So we were like, oh yeah, all my mates saying, don't do it, you can't go there mugging yourself.
Oh,
off,
love that.
yeah.
You
I'm like,
wiggled.
fuck that, I'm gonna go up there.
Have
and
you
do
got a
it.
few on board? Are you
Sorry
out
for
there?
swearing, yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
they're all
crack
filming
on.
me, going, look at him, look at him.
Brilliant.
all
Is
that.
that footage still knocking around?
So I've gone up to them, showed them what we could do, showed them my Instagram, he took my number, went, all right, mate, yeah, we'll keep you in mind. And then 3 months later, we were about a couple of months later, wasn't it? They called us, we forgot about it.
We was in Cornwall, weren't
We
we?
was in
Wales.
no, Southport.
Southport, yeah.
And then we got the text me, hello mate, don't know if you remember me, I want you to come over to our Ibiza to
He's
do a
like, I
floor
fucking don't remember nothing from that night. He didn't remember nothing.
I didn't remember.
That's when he came back up.
me, mate.
He showed me a picture. Someone sent me a picture of him sitting down there talking. They got a bottle of red wine between him. He's sitting on the table.
Fair
And then we forgot about it. And then
What's the
they
worst
said,
they can say?
what's the worst they can say? No, innit? So then they said, yeah, come on.
I
And
went
then
out there.
next
Would you
minute,
not?
next minute, we loaded up the van, and then Stuart and Dad drove from England to Ibiza. Me and Ollie flew.
Let the old boys do
Yeah,
it.
love that. I see you there,
And then, he's
boys.
got, and then he's got air sick on the boat. Seasick on the
He's at the
boat.
boat shivering.
He's the driver.
He said, I'm turning around.
I've done 1,000 miles in one night. He's shaking, going through the mountains and through the Alps. I'm getting blown in the van. We slept in the van the night, didn't we? This was back last
I was so ill that trip.
April, wasn't it?
Love it.
So we got
Love
to-
it. This is where you boys need a fucking YouTube channel.
So we
Genuinely.
got out to Ibiza.
We should have filmed all that.
When I was young, all my mates were going out to Ibiza, and I was at home and with him. I would do. Now I've got to Ibiza, and he's been going to Ibiza for the last few years, and I've still never been. I'm 40 years of age. I've never been to Ibiza till last year. I was out there for 4 months. Anyway,
Only laid one floor.
And he's got maintenance man on it.
so anyway, so tops up. Harry's, we've gone over there. It was no one was there. So, well, season weren't there.
It's like ghost town,
so
wasn't
we've
it?
got this big.
Because this is in the winter. You've gone over the winter.
Just before, so it was like May.
April.
April.
It's warming up. It's
Right,
warming
okay.
up.
It's warming
It was
up.
April.
So we drove out there, got this big hotel, so we've got the hotel to do with the Wiki Woo.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Ibiza,
Floor,
right?
loads of
Big
gold.
floor,
Yeah.
we've done the bar, and we've done the
Gold,
backsplashes
things,
and everything there. So we've done all the walls in there as well.
All ceilings, all gold.
All ceilings.
Wicked. So
So we
cool.
tops up, going over there. Anyway, we loved it. Anyway,
I
so
bet you did.
Sounds it. Sounds it.
No, we're doing floors, mate. We're going over.
Floors and shores.
floors and shores.
Love it. Love
So
it.
anyway, tops up out there. We're out there, and we've done this floor now. We're finishing up. Be honest with you, I'll tell you what happened. Harry got the job. Harry should have designed it, and I always regretted it. right? But we said last night.
No, he still regrets to this day.
He got one back on me yesterday. So he should have designed it. But what happened was, I got a bit carried away, got a bit excited. And we was doing all funky colours. We was left to our own devices to do the colours.
This is for the hotel?
This is for the hotel.
Okay.
First,
But it's a secret. It's a little club down the back. It's called the Wiggly Woo at the Wiki Woo. So it's a little VIP area. Blah blah blah. But it's a bar. It goes on in there. So we've gone in there to do this floor, and we've done the floor. And to be honest with you, I didn't like it.
none of us liked
likes
it. We all tried to make ourselves like it. We all standing there looking at it like,
in the morning.
It looked better in the morning. It looked better at night.
I was fuming because I would have designed it and I let him do it.
So when you say design, I'm going to go through in a minute the stages of how you do your floors, but to design it, do you have to look at the area of what you've got and go, we need to put certain amount of bits here, and so you need to know the layout of where,
the layout of the
patterns.
room, patterns, how you're gonna, what shapes you're gonna do, what the direction you're gonna go, how much colour needs to go in certain places.
Yeah.
Where's
Not to smudge it all
furniture.
up.
It's
quite a process.
It's technique. You can do it really, really good, or you can do it really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
And to make it good, we like to dig out what interiors they got, like to see the finishes, like to see the logos, like to see what they're feeling, how they want it. If they've got any other finishings in there, we don't want to. What wants to be the main focal point? How jazzy do you want it?
Yeah.
So we feel them.
Yeah.
And not at first. We used to get what colours do you want? Do you a sample board?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to try and do our best. And sometimes it's resin is so beautiful if you get it right and you know how to pull it through.
Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealants on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well, so go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
So let's go through the process of it now then, okay? We'll drop back onto this because this is just the tip of the iceberg. So say we've got this room here, or say garage, a normal garage, right? So from a complete concrete floor, talk us through the process of to the finished product. Say I wanted a white, the marble effect. White marble effect. So talk us through that.
So we'd go in there, we'd assess the concrete to see what the concrete's like. We'd do a moisture test on it. We'd do a rebound hammer test on it, make sure it's got the correct compressive strength. If there's any repairs to do, we'd do the repairs. If it needs but we'd grind the floor. We always grind the floor to take any latents off, take any old contaminants off, any grease, any glue, anything like that. So we grind the floor. And it also gives it a good mechanical key. Then what we do is if it needs self-leveling, we self-level it.
Just normal self-leveling compound?
No, it's got to be a 35 newtons in strength, compressive strength, water-based.
No
water-based.
bottle and bag.
Right. No bottle.
No prep guy.
No bag.
Stu says it's crucial.
It's your department.
Fucking crucial.
It's crucial.
It's all in the prep. It's all in the prep.
Yeah.
We've had a job. I'll tell you about the job in a minute.
I know.
And a hydrate screed. We'll go back to that. Thousands. Anyway, so we've topped up. So then you, after you've self-leveled it, you then grind it again because you want to take any latents off of the top of the self-leveler.
Right.
Now we're on the resin side of things.
So you've got to get the self-level perfectly bang on and ready to keep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then you put a primer down, depending how porous it is. So you put a prime coat down, then you put a 250 grams per square metre, just say, and then you put a base coat on between 500 and 700 grams per square metre. Just one solid colour. So you're just building your layers up now.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice bit of depth.
So what are we on now? Three.
So you're on your third
layers?
layer. You
Four
screened,
layers.
you prime, then you base coated now.
Right,
so you're in your third layer. Yeah.
There is a system to it. There is quite a process to it. Then you base coat it, and then you go to the design. So the client, it's the money coat. The client, that's all they think about.
So at the moment, your floors sit in as a
blank canvas,
So
a
it's
black,
a grey,
grey,
we know in black and
white.
Yeah,
Grey,
so
white,
solid
black,
colour.
So it's completely there. Now you go to your customer, or you've probably had this conversation before.
Yeah.
So you're now at the stage where the customer's gone, right, I want the white marble effect floor.
Yeah.
So what's the process
we
now?
We would ask her, where's your furniture going? How busy do you want your veins? what marbling do you like? Because people say, I just want a white marble.
So when you say about the veins, you want it like
Yeah.
loads of
Do you want
marble
a
effect,
Calcutta
or
vein? Do you want how do you want your veins to
Thicknesses,
look?
lengths.
Show me.
oh, of like the effect
How many
of it.
you'd really want? If you
Because
want it
a marble vein, everyone says I want white marble. There is a good way of doing white marble. If you've got a natural marble stone, you cut it in half. It goes in all different directions. There's highlights as well. So it ain't just about people just putting a vein through. That's how we've done it back in the start. You've got to replicate a real marble look. But what's your outlook? So I like to see pictures of what they're liking. So then what we'd do at that point, she would show us a picture. Now, I'd say that's a good. I would tell her that we would say the truth. If it's a
Too
nice
busy for
marble,
the
if it's
size
too
of the
busy,
room.
where's your room layout? Where's your table going? Where's your
Right,
dining room
yeah,
table
so you
going?
take all of that
Yeah,
into-
where's your doors? If the doors are going in after, the kitchen's going on after, you might have an island. We want to bring veins through so it looks like it's one slab. So we consider all that, and then we'll do them after that. After we get a feel for it, we'll do a drop. Some people don't, we just go for it. But if they're quite fussy and they know exactly what they want, we'll do them a sample board. Can't say it's going to come out like that, but you're going to see
That's
the technique.
roughly
It's only
what
on a
you're gonna
small
get.
scale. You
Yeah.
ain't going to get it on a big enough scale.
You're going to see something. That's the colours that's going to happen, and the detailing is going to be different, similar. But do you want me to go for it, or do you want your take on it? So
Yeah.
we if they're easy going, let us do.
You know what customers are like.
Let
You
us
can-
do
you
what
can
we
sound
think.
them
Do
out,
you know what I
can't
mean?
you?
You can feel them out.
Yeah.
So then we do that, and now we'll go.
So she goes, yeah, oh, that's the pattern I want. Bang. So where do you go now
So
then?
now we have a sleepless night.
Is it that bad? Does it get that?
It does,
Really?
can be. Yeah.
It's for what gives you that stress
Because
then?
it's a liquid pour product. You've got 45 minutes to lighting.
You got a window, have you?
You've got a window, yeah. Now we've done
Well, 45 minutes
we've
to
done
meet the
1,000
edge.
square meters in one hit, but we worked to the wet edge. Back 3 years ago, we couldn't have done that.
Right.
But it's a way of doing it, and
Yeah, you learn. You
learn,
evolve, don't you?
But I say to people when I'm training them, I say, I'm teaching you this, how to do these big jobs, but by the time you get to that confidence of getting to there, you're going to know how to do that. You're going to start on little worktops. You're going to start in a little floor, in a little bathroom. That's where you're going to start, because I wouldn't go in calling it anything else on until you do your apprenticeship. And your apprenticeship is going to be a world of pain for a minute. And my job is to try and get you over the line and try and teach you the best way that I can. It might not be textbook, but that's the way that works for us. It might not work for you, but it works for us.
Tell them what pain we've been through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scare 'em
And
a
try
bit.
to tell them.
Yeah,
Scare 'em- scare 'em a
the
bit,
way you've
scare 'em a
you're
bit.
tried and tested. You know, you're trying to save them that, but sometimes you've got to give them a little
Sometimes
bit of
they
pain,
don't
ain't you?
listen. If they don't listen,
You have.
Oh, everyone
And-
thinks they know best,
And
don't
everyone
they?
wants
Learn the
white,
other.
and they say, "Oh, white," and they say, "Can it scratch? Yeah, it can scratch. Can it go yellow? Yeah, it can go yellow." But you can prevent and do the most as you can. So any floor you do, whatever finish it is, you've got to stone you through, and you kick your shoe at the bottom of the floor. You're going to put a mark in it. You're going to scratch it. Good thing about epoxy, you can polish it back in, you can sand it back in, you can reseal it, you can get rid of that.
Right.
Like any floor, if it's timber, wood, grout,
it's treated
it's all
correctly.
maintenance. So you have a little maintenance on it. So we go and do maintenance jobs for nightclubs and restaurants that we've done. We go back every 6 months, give it a little bit of maintenance.
Yeah.
Got a fresh floor.
Nice.
So there's good on that aspect.
So your lady's gone, right, that's the floor. So you're sleepless now, you're thinking, right, okay, we're going to work from there, do this, do that.
So we come in.
So what's the process the next day?
We come in, we've already worked out how much we need, how much goes where,
What colour combinations we're going to be
what colour
doing.
combination we're going to do, who's doing what,
percentage
and then we'll go over every single square metre of the floor,
Who's mixing and
make
designing,
sure it's perfect how
spotting.
we want it.
Get
Then
your
we'll
colours
clean
set
it,
up.
and then
And
if
the ways
it's
you want 'em.
and then
To
if
have
it-
everything laid out,
Everything
ready to
laid
go.
out.
Because you've got
Organised.
that window.
you have, a
ain't you?
you have a workstation and you know exactly what's numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. When I hit that, you're having that. We're all in communication along the floor because his mixing station might be right down the other end of the hall, and we might be at the other end of the house or whatever. Ollie will have responsibility at the time of going in. Someone's got to take responsibility. So
You just lump it on him.
Yeah.
Dump it
Fucking
on Ollie.
poor guy's on set for fucking months.
It's your fault, mate, do you know what I mean?
Sleepless nights.
Can't do it all. So then we say to Ollie, "Is that clean enough? Because you've got responsibility today." Yeah.
So is that like getting the dust off it, getting
Dust off it,
completely...
clean it,
Maneuver
limp,
it twice.
cover it twice,
Yeah.
limb roll it,
Wipe it
alcohol,
down.
Because all
right
four
down.
of us
It's got to
can't
be
go
like
in cleaning.
Yeah.
it's got to be like a forensic scene in there,
Right,
like
okay.
a crime scene in there.
Yeah.
You got to get it crisp, and we do something different. We overgauge our product, so we double it up. Got longer drying time, longer cure, but in our opinion, it is
Much better.
It's such a better floor. It's in every way.
Costs more money, but it's
it
the way
costs
to
more
do
money,
it.
but The job has got to come first, and the money's got to come second,
Yeah.
no matter what. No matter what, and it's got to be that way. And as soon as people start thinking about the money, you're going to have a problem.
Scrimping on product.
Yeah,
You're gonna-
massively. You're looking at margins, then, ain't you?
Yeah, you're looking at margin. You shouldn't have priced it. You shouldn't have had that client weren't for you. If they bidded you on that floor, they shouldn't have. You shouldn't have gone with it because it weren't for them.
So Ollie's giving it the thumbs up.
Harry's giving it the thumbs up.
He's sat back now. I'm fucking done, boys. You crack on.
I've got the music on now,
Yeah.
jumping about, ready to go.
So do you get it? Do you get the music
Yeah,
going?
get
You
the
go.
music going, yeah.
Go.
So I love this.
Put the tunes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
Have a little
ready.
party.
So you're there. You're right. What's the next bit then? What happens now?
So now we're all set to go. Everything's done. We double check everything. Harry knows what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. Tools are all on the ground. Thumbs up. We're ready to go. Stuart's normally on the mixing station at this point because he's done his job with the preparations. So he's he's the mixer man. Ollie's our man in between the spotter. If there's any bits and pieces on as we're going along, he'll feed us our material, or it could be one of our other.
Keep
Leon
us
or
spotting,
something
keep
else.
us going through
This
it.
ain't there, needs
So
something.
me and him will work. Harry know what he's doing. If he's out that time basing out, I'll be going in front of him and dropping a detail. We can't. What we've learnt is both of you can't design the floor because
Right.
you're going to have a mixed hand on the floor,
Right. Okay.
and it's going to look different. So if you're doing that thing, you got to do that. If I'm doing that, I've got to do that because then you got consistency of that because
Obviously, they're
your
not
dip,
two
your
different
pull's
floors.
going to be different to mine. Your little technique's going to be different to my technique. You're going to have an inconsistency of design. So we know what we're doing there. If Harry's basing out, we're going to base out in front of
So when you say basing out, is that the white?
pulling the white
That's
through.
if you're doing
So
that's if
we're
you're
a white
doing a marble.
marble,
This
So
is
for the
if you're
marble,
doing
let's
a
go on the
marble.
marble.
This
So
if
you're
you're doing
putting
a
the
marble.
white down.
Yeah.
You're pulling that through the whole floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let him
90% of it would be a solid white colour, 95%.
So we stand back now. That this room's 90%
It's
white.
white. It's white. Now I'll come on, and I'll drop my grey in or my black or whatever colour we're
For
doing.
the marble
For the
effect.
marbling. So I'll drop my colour in the spaces. Then I'll go back to it, and then I'll do my technique of.
So I've seen you with on your Instagram. So you work down. Is it with the pot? Is that right? You got
Yeah,
your
it depends
pot
what I'm
and
doing.
you're working.
That's it. It depends what I'm doing. Depends what we're doing. But if we're going for one sort of design, I'll have my tools next to me. They'll be stuck to me, and I will just drop our highlights in. I'll pull our design technique through, let it bleed out, let it settle down a bit, go to the next one, then come back, have a look at it. Yeah, settling down nicely. Yeah, that's working. Then I'll go back and check again if I've got any spike marks or anything.
Yeah.
Because it all self-levels. You've got spikes on when you're doing it. And
Does it?
it does move about.
Does it move and
doesn't move.
spread?
24 hours later, look different.
Right.
Especially not really so much marble, but
Not
especially
marble,
if you're doing all
if you're doing
mad
colours,
colours.
colours.
Yeah, yeah.
Dapper Love's just it would all create mad different things overnight, create different cells and different techniques, give you different effects.
Depends what they want. So if we're going for a white marble, it's very plain and I shouldn't say easy because
It's
marble
not easy.
is
It's one of the hardest ones too. You've got to keep the area that you
gotta be
haven't got the
spotless.
marble white.
You can't make.
You've got if you
yeah,
make
can't
it dead, if
slap
you
a
get a
little
drip
bit.
black in it
looks
and you
messy,
smudge
doesn't
it and you smudge it in, you're going to see a black smudge on the floor.
Yeah.
While the rest
if
of
you
it's
did
crisp,
drop a black
clean white.
smudge, can you make that look like a bit of
Yeah,
marble?
yeah.
Of course you can.
You can. The only way
But you've got to do it there.
Yeah.
You've got to do it in your window.
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't.
That's the only reason why white marble.
Or get a bit of white and pour it on there, but it's hard work. It
So
can be
you've
hard
done.
work.
So
You
you've
can make a
done
mess.
that. You've put your veins in and you've done your marble effect. So it's all done.
Yeah.
So you stand back. You're out the room and it's done.
Leave it.
Yeah.
24 hours.
So that's got to be left then for what? 24
16
hours?
to 24 hours minimum.
25
Cold
degrees.
days, even longer than
25
that.
degrees. 25 degrees.
Cold days you could be
20 to
waiting.
25
2 days.
degrees.
That's
Okay.
at that sort of temperature.
And your resin's got to be in there, climatised
At room temperature.
at room temperature before. You want the temperature up because you want to get a skin on the resin as long as possible.
Cold your worst enemy.
Yeah,
Right.
well,
Cold
silicon's an enemy, a fly's an enemy, a spider's an enemy, a
Water's
mouse
an enemy.
The post box.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
more dudes
You
than
should-
Postman.
Postman's your enemy.
My-
You
yeah,
do a
my
lovely
missus is a
floor.
postwoman.
You
She'll be going
you
fucking
do a lovely
mental.
floor. Someone
Lovely
puts
floor,
a letter for the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got.
So
That's
you
in
put
there,
that
then.
down then, and then you step away. At the end of the day, you go, right, okay, that's it. So you got your 16, 20 hours or whatever it is to go off.
Yeah, another sleepless night.
But that's a sleepless night. She's
That's a
worried about
sleepless
what's going to fall in it in them
Of course
16
it is,
hours.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've had mice, we've had spiders, we've had all sorts.
Lizards.
Lizards.
Lizards, yeah, come on.
So then you go back in the morning.
Yeah.
And then,
Pray to God.
yeah, pulling them out. So let's say it's absolutely mint, right? It's
Yeah.
perfect, exactly how you want it. Then what? Then what goes on?
Then we will come in. We'll bring the client in, make sure they like it, make sure they're happy about it.
So is that then nothing goes on top of that?
Yeah.
Then?
This is
Yeah,
Right,
silk
okay.
coat.
So
You've
you
got a
want to
silk
tick
coat.
the design
You
on.
want to tick the design off.
Okay.
So the design's ticked off. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Or I don't love it. If if they love it, then we say, right, okay, the sealer's already been spoken about before. If they want gloss, matte or satin,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
already been spoke about.
Yeah.
It's also been spoken about what sealer that they want, because there's options of sealers. If you want
Cheaper options, more expensive
no,
options.
just different materials, different looks of sealer. And
So you can have a matte finish, a shiny gloss finish.
Yeah.
Like glass.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
gloss
yeah.
was always a problem until recently. So gloss, we could only use a certain kind of gloss, which is a polyurethane gloss, and anything in a gloss shows absolutely everything up, as we all know. And to apply a polyurethane gloss has got to be done so correctly without getting a roller mark in it, because you get to a beautiful job, you do a job, and you put this sealer on, and then it just looks. If it's a gloss and you get the sealing wrong, it can ruin the job, because it
Really?
just doesn't look nice. It looked beautiful, and then all of a sudden you put this sealer on, and it's what was the point of doing that?
Yeah.
And it didn't really do much anyway. So evolution again has changed. Now we've got spray applied sealers, so we spray it on, more of a compressive strength, better scratch resistance, better chemical resistance, and that is the way to go. A lot more money, but a lot more forgiving,
A lot more protecting
and a
as
lot more
well.
So is
protective.
so that the customer's going, yeah, sound perfect, seal that in. So then the next phase is what you've just said.
Yeah. That satin matte or gloss, which we've already decided.
So is that, how long is that process thing?
That's another day.
Right, okay. So
So-
how long to apply it down?
You got a 5 day. It's a 5 days installation.
Depends
If it's a
everything.
10 square meter or if it's a 300 square
Yeah.
meters, it's
Still 5
The
days.
it's
spray
5
on the
days.
spray on sealer is a lot more less
lovely.
headache and a lot more
But
a lot more
lovely.
better than
And it's-
just
and it-
PU in
and
it.
it-
A lot more
and-
quicker, a
and-
lot more
and it's
time
quicker.
efficient. A lot more time efficient.
So now you've got normally it does. Normally, once you've done your design, and that problem there, if you're all good, everything's set, everything's mixed properly, which touch wood, we've never had a problem with that. Then
All of you are fucking tapping bit of wood. Not superstitious at all.
then we say, right, let's seal it, and then we seal it. The next day they come back in. It's foot walkable. You can walk about. It's a full cure after 7 days. So
Right.
we're not stepping on it. You step on it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But you put your furniture on it. You're gonna put some coasters on your furniture for a minute.
Yeah.
Let
Spread
let
that weight.
the compressive strength get right up
Get
first,
to its full.
and then
Yeah.
you can discotheque on it after.
So do you have to polish it once the sealer's... So you apply the sealer, that's it, done. You walk,
glass out.
not
you might
walk
say
away,
you
but...
might say in about 8 years' time you will come
Yeah,
down,
you can
sand
take
it
the top
down,
edge off it.
take the top edge and give
Yeah.
it a reseal to bring it back up again.
And this is the thing
You might
about a
say
beauty
that.
or an epoxy floor. Once you've had to play out for the initial first install, for all your preparation, all your self-leveling, all your primers and base coats and your design, all it is a matter of then, you might say to me in a couple of years' time, I've changed my interior of my home, house, club, restaurant, and I want a fresh look. So you're looking at half the money now, because what you've got to do, you've only got to sand your top coat off,
Yeah.
design
All your
it.
base layers are
You're
already
ready
down.
to go, and you'll be back on the floor in 2
So
days.
from a concrete floor to a finished level on the average one, what
5
sort
days.
of depth are you?
7 to 8 mil.
Is that it?
Well, you self-level, but the resin's only...
7 plus the self-level.
Yeah, plus the self-level.
Wow.
It's only thin.
In my head, I had like...
Yeah, we come into
30
jobs and they
mil or
brought,
something.
and we come into jobs and people
The
brought
resin
skirtings
bound,
up.
the
Yeah,
resin
yeah.
bound
Thinking it's
drive,
coming like that.
Yeah.
You're like,
the
no,
driveway
it's
stuff's a
only
lot
coming in
thicker.
like-
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
driveway stuff's about 15
So-
mil.
Yeah, for some reason in my head, I thought it was...
So when we come
It's
into
like-
jobs
it's
and
like
they've done the
millimeters.
skirtings like that.
So let's say I don't want, because we've all discussed this before you come.
Go on.
Let's say a room of this size. Say it was a concrete floor, a freshly laid, brand new building, concrete floor, and you went, I want it marble. Why with the marble thing? Do it as you roughly. I don't want proper figures. Give or take, what we if you're happy to say
How many
what
square
sort
meters?
of money.
How many square meters is this?
20,
5 by 7, I reckon.
Yeah.
5 by
So what's that going to be?
35.
Yeah.
35. So on a rough estimate, 1 times 35 equals. You're looking at about £5.5 grand for your between 5.5 grand just for your resin, and then you've got your
Preparation on
and then
top,
you've
your
got preparation
self-levelers,
on
your
top.
prep work, your
Yeah.
grinding if you
Yeah.
need to be grinded, and labour.
But prices range from 120 to £200 a square metre, roughly.
Done,
120,
finished.
120, £200 a square metre.
Yeah. So you're going to be looking at what?
6.5.
6.5, which isn't out of the water.
No.
For the fit in my head, I was thinking 12 grand, 13 grand.
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's why I was a bit
That's-
dubious about asking. Some people don't like to say what.
Yeah,
No, of course not.
But yeah,
But it's
yeah,
right,
give or
it's-
take, as a rough guy, because I know people watching, especially when they see what you do, and people listening, and they will have seen what we're on about, people will go, "What? I wonder what the cost of that is."
And don't get me wrong, you can go in there and 4 times that.
Yeah, of course you
can
can.
go in there
Yeah.
5 times that. Depends.
It's
who-
like trying to ask people how long a bit of string is, but roughly,
Yeah, that's it. If you was to ask me, that's what it. That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
rough. That,
And
that's
like you say, you can go fucking double,
go
triple
what
that,
you want, yeah.
depending on what you want.
Depends
The
where you
more
are.
that goes in,
for us, it's just about we want consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, getting it out there.
yeah.
And yeah, there is jobs in there that it don't matter.
So now we've got an idea of what goes into putting a floor like that down. As you say, sleepless night, stress. We'll go back to that Ibiza job. So you've got there. We now know what is involved in that.
Yeah.
So you've got to this
Yeah.
hotel, and you're like, right, are they having one of these funky mad
Yeah,
floors?
yeah. They had 6 colours to start with reds, greens, yellows, black, and we done it.
So now we know how much, just by going the marble,
Yeah.
we know that lot going in
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
So
you've got to get
we've
it.
done
You
all the
design.
heartache of getting to that point and everything to get to that
we
point.
put a fine finish, and then we put an Italian fine finish along the walls. It was like a silk 2-time
Gold Monaco,
finish.
Is that a similar process on the walls then?
No, it was insane. That's a trowel applied.
Right, okay.
Different finishing. It's just another little technique, and
Yeah.
another little thing that we do some different. We do some different finishes.
That's
as
sort of
well.
like that Venetian plastering.
Similar.
stuff.
It's a wall
It's in
finish,
that banner.
similar.
Yeah.
So we done that
For 3 days.
for 3 or 4 days, and then we had to do the floor. So we done the floor. As we was coming
It
out.
didn't look terrible. It didn't look alright.
No, they loved it.
But they were happy with it.
They loved
I
it.
think
We
they called us
weren't.
back. They weren't.
No, this is what happened. We was in the wiki. We was in the wiki woo. They liked it. It's lovely. It suits. We had a party on it. Few nights with some up with. Anyway, we
Are
was
you
com-
looking round waiting for people to drop drinks going, don't fucking drop that glass there.
Well, can you not make that-
the quality of it. It was the.
It was nothing wrong with the quality. It was just the design.
Right.
And normally you'd be worried about the quality because it's the quality that.
Did you have to take all the materials with
Yeah, we
you?
drove it over.
I drove it out.
Oh,
Drove
yeah.
grinders and
There's a
self
funny story
levelers.
of that.
And don't forget, we went out there. I'll tell you this. That wasn't the first time we drove out there. We drove out there a month later as well. I'll tell you. So we're at the Wiki Road. This guy's come in, pulled up in his Lamborghini G-Wagon. 20
Yeah,
girls.
we're talking about the floor first.
I'm talking about this. This is where it
Yeah,
is.
go on.
So we're at the Wiki Road, and this guy's come out. Who's done that fucking floor in there? Oh my gosh! I turned around and went, we did. He went, you're coming up to my headquarters in Scotland. You're doing our new showroom.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So anyway, so with that, 2 weeks later, we're back in the UK. Me and Stuart drove back. The phone's gone. It's this guy. Would you come up to Scotland and do our floor? Of course. So me and Harry flew up to Scotland a couple of days later.
Oh, he let you fly that time,
Let me
did
fly
he?
that time, thank God. To go and assess the floor. With that, we're up there. We've got the floor. The phone's gone.
Oh, this on the way back. Yeah. It was on the
phone's
way
gone.
back from Scotland, weren't we?
It was Tony Truman, OB, and
Yeah.
Wiki Boo.
Yeah.
Lou and Harry, love what you've done. You've done a great job. But I think you were right. The colours don't quite go. How would you boys feel about coming over?
There was no windows in this room, so as soon as you put black in it, it overpowered the whole contrast of the room, all the
Very
bright
dark.
colours going on.
Right, yeah,
so it
just
made
sapped
it look,
all-
so it
sapped
made
it
it
all
look,
out.
it zapped
You-
everything
you
out
want
of
a
it.
vibrant
So, and we
fucking
only put a
room,
little
mate.
bit of black in it, but it just took absolutely everything out of it. And when there's no windows in there, it just made it look like it made it look a bit dull.
So anyway, from that point, we've said yes. So when do you want it done, Tone? You went, Lou, could you come over the early part of next year? I went, really that long? I said, can't we come over? We want to get it done. It's our name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't
They're
we
all
just get it
open
done?
now. They're all open now as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're all
booming.
open.
Mid-season,
Yeah,
innit?
mid-season.
That's why they went,
Can't we come now, boys?
Come in.
See you Friday.
He went, would you come? He went, would you come? I went, yeah, so I've rung a shoot. We're going back out.
How long is this after doing it?
A month.
About a month.
Shit.
So Stuart
We
never...
spent 2 weeks.
We weren't
But it's a matter of fact now, you just got to go and design it. All the prep work's done. So it's
So
a
it's-
3-day
Right, yeah,
visit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a re.
So there I am back in the motor. Me, I've
flew
I've
again.
got someone else with me now. He's
over there.
he's flown again. So I've gone out there just to do a 3-day job. I was out there, I think, about 2 weeks. But anyway, so we've gone out there. Anyway, we've done this floor. And we was worried about it, weren't we? Because we've got to get it right now. You've got big dark, you've got these colours underneath of it, and now we've got to put a pink. He wants
So
it
now
pink
thinking,
and gold.
if you don't put enough pigment in, the black will show through
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
So we've only
That's-
bought so much out there
That's
with
a
us.
proper sleepless night, isn't it?
And then we've only got so
And
much
you're in
with
the middle
us.
of Ibiza, you can't just go to the shop and get anything you
Yeah,
need.
you've got to take the lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
With the
You get
party
most things in
island,
Ibiza,
you
but you
get
probably
screw
can't get
kits.
resin.
Can't get resin. Can't get resin.
So we've topped up doing this floor, and as soon as we started as soon as you drop the floor, as soon as you pour the product out, and you start pulling it about, it's going to be a good floor. From that, I don't know what it is. Instantly, within 30 seconds, you know it's going to be a good floor because your product's on the floor.
And then you're buzzing, ain't you?
Yeah, you're
You're
buzzing.
going, this is
Getting
going
lively
to
then.
Yeah.
I'll show you some videos later of us doing that floor.
Have you got them? Get them over. Put it on.
And we had music going. We was on one. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I think we was doing it, and it was just all in good. And this floor just come out, and it was just like unbelievable. Anyway, so we went down to O Beach. Come down O Beach. So we've gone down there. Everyone's seen the floor, all gassed up about it. A couple of days later, we're going home now. Anyway, they come up to us and said...
We had to redo the boards as well.
We had to all the
We took over our whole hotel room and we had boards laid out across the whole hotel room like that with time.
Because the hotel was open, we got limited
hotel
space.
was open, we had to do it in our rooms. We had to take all the boards off, all the splashbacks we'd done, all the DJ booth, filled up their whole of their wiki room with all splashbacks.
Then one of the tables on while I was out there as well.
And we had
We're
the
on the
table.
roof, and we're doing resin on the roof upstairs.
Mega.
30 degree, everything you're not meant to be doing. I swear, I don't know
Everything
why. Someone was looking after
About
us.
45-minute windows of doing it's come down to about
7.
The sun helped. The sun helped.
There's still a table. I love the table.
Yeah, love
Still
the
in there, and there's nothing wrong. That was the first hit. So anyway, we've done this. We've done it. He's come up to us and said, "Let me pay you for that. What do I owe you for that?" We've gone. It's paid us. Do you know what I mean? The first time, and we wanted to just do it. It was our name, so don't be silly. So when you come out here, you've drove out here, all your expenses. I mean, don't worry about it, Tony. I'm happy. It's done. He went, for that, you can come here anytime you want.
Yeah, open invite.
Don't tell us that.
Yeah. Brilliant.
4 months later.
No way, you're all bowling over there.
So you had to run the show.
Yes, you have to say, didn't you?
They were saying, I forgot.
Yeah.
So we went over. So the missus all come over. They had a few days with us out there, and then we've come back. And then with that, we got invited. We've done
Scotland
job.
Done the Scotland job.
So the Scotland guy was he's a sponsorship of O Beach. So
And the
he's
Wiki
named-
Woo, of
and
the
Wiki
hotel
Woo.
we done.
So they're another sponsor. So hell, he's invited us to a party. We've done his showroom
At Ocean Beach.
And
It's
the showroom was it's beautiful. We went to their party a month ago. We get invited to all the parties.
You
now.
boys are killing it.
So then they've invited us back out to their party at O Beach. He's done 50 grand on champagne to sprout the
We
wall.
just sprayed it.
All right, just to sprout the wall. Just to
And you
spray.
any plumbing doing?
So
Love it.
So we've gone out and we've been out there back two. So we've our faces are known out there, and we had a great time. We had an absolute great time. So we went out there for their party. And then we come back and we flirt for another party. What party was that for? So yeah, we was doing that. Oh, I went to Miami.
You went to Miami.
I went to
no,
the-
you was in Miami. I was in Barcelona. Then you got back from
Oh,
Miami to
you got back
Ibiza.
from-
You went from Miami to Ibiza.
Miami to
I went
Ibiza.
Barcelona to Ibiza.
Yeah,
You went
you
from
were
Miami
And
to
did all this
Ibiza.
come off the back of the Ibiza
Mate, it
job?
was just so
most of it
sort
was
of
like
did.
Chloe Ferry, then
Yeah.
knocked onto that, then that knocked onto To Be Tanned, then
And at
that
what
To Be
point-
Tanned, then Wiki Woo, we got Tom's in it.
At
So
what
it was
point
like
are
a
you
knock-on
going,
effect.
what's going on?
I didn't
Or
realise.
did you just keep
We
going?
just kept on
with it?
going.
We just keep rolling with it. And just,
kept on
So
going.
you said you got the Ibiza and then Tom Zanetti, you done work for him.
But we met him at the Wiki Woo.
Of course you did, why would you not?
We met him at the Wiki Woo, on the floor. And then so
This is the funny thing, right? I'll tell you what happened. One night, Pikes is the first Club Tropicana. Remember Wham? Club
Yeah,
Tropicana.
yeah.
It's the big famous sort of what made Ibiza. Anyway, special invite only. You can't, and not anyone can
You
just
ain't
get
getting in.
into Pikes. Right, I'm out. We were with Sunita. Do you know Sunita?
Yeah.
We were with Sunita. Went to her birthday party with Nick Eade. So we were out all day. We were with these.
Of course you did.
We were with these people. It's on my Instagram. Just think you see
the
it.
Heart Radio presenter,
The Heart Radio,
Greg Burns.
We're out with him. Become really good friends of ours over the 3 months. Anyway, so we've gone this night. I said, I really want to go Pikes. My time's running out. I'm going home in a couple of days. So they said, where do you want? I want to go out tonight. They said, where do you want to go, Lou? So I said, I want to go to Pikes. So they've got me a car. They said, and Nick Eade and Sunita's friend said, can we come with you? Yeah, of course you can. He won't come in. He's having dramas with his missus on the phone. So I'm going.
Yeah, imagine that.
I'm
How old are you at the time?
23.
So the missus is going, what are you doing? I'm just doing Ibiza with... for the
fourth time.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I've got the car's come and picked us up. They said, "Sure, you don't mind us coming with you? This is Nick Heed. Like he's on the TV the night before.
Yeah.
He's invited all of his friends over to have a party.
He's asking if he can jump in with you.
So I said, come on. So I'm in. So I pulled up in the car. I've got Sunita's friend and Greg and.
No, I jumped in with Greg. You was with Sunita and that Nick, weren't you?
Yeah.
Through.
So I've come in. Denise Van Outen's there in the queue. This guy's standing out the door. He's come out, open the door. He said, "You Lou?" I said, "Yeah." And I come in then. I've bypassed Van Houten. And I've took these other two celebrities in there.
No.
On the floor layer. And
Brilliant.
It was like, I was just like, that's one of them moments I thought, what the fuck's happening here?
Was you
Like,
walking in going, what the fuck
yeah,
am I doing?
but it was just
Celebrities.
Ibiza.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Ibiza, but there's something
One of your
magical.
And then I
favourite
ju-
sayings, floors open doors.
Floors open doors, love it.
Floors and shores.
Floors and shores.
But
I've
And
got to
I
say,
turned up with the radio presenter.
and he's turned up on the radio. Could my mate come in?
and so all this is from you dropping an Instagram
But
message.
this is from me going up to him in the restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. And it just goes to show, doesn't it?
But they saw us. They saw us obviously doing Chloe Ferries. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
just knocked
But
on.
what's the harm in asking? You know, I've done
gonna
it to
get
try
him
and
on.
get people on here. You know, with Guy Phoenix. I just dropped a message on his Instagram, and he's
Well, so it's done with you guys. I just messaged you on the
Yeah,
off chance
yeah,
that
Worst
come
you're
on.
gonna get is a no, innit?
What's
Worst
the
you're gonna
worst-
get is a
exactly
no.
that. What's
It's
the
a
worst
no.
they can do is no.
That's right. And if you keep knocking on the doors, there's
One of them will open,
Sure.
won't
one of them will open.
it? 100%.
But then you went to Miami, didn't you? Training out
Oh,
in
yeah,
Miami,
and then I went-
doing a masterclass. We've got with those
Then I got invited
Americans.
to do a UK take of the UK's way, to go out to the motherland of, they call it, of epoxy.
Yeah.
And show them how
And
to
show
do
the
it our
Americans.
way.
So they're the ones who started it. You've seen it, wanted to do what they do. Now
And they've
they're asking
invited
you
us
to
to
get
come
in your
over to the
back.
show because they have a very particular way of doing it. They do only do like one sort of style. They do different things and pieces,
Yeah.
but we was doing all wacky things, different
Yeah.
designs,
Mixing
different
with all
patterns,
these people
mixing
and
with all these
there's,
people. And I was like, we want what you got, man.
Brilliant.
So we've got
We
some,
want to be able to walk into clubs like you boys.
so the suppliers and that said invited us over, and we're working closely with them because we're using their products, blah blah blah. So we've gone out over to. I flew out to Miami, and I helped train a class of 30 people, and it was fantastic.
Is that the first time you've done any training?
No, it wasn't. I'd done a couple of one-to-ones.
Right.
We hadn't had anything set up. We haven't got a training.
We were
centre
setting
yet.
up the training centre.
We were setting up the training
That
centre.
was in the motion.
But
The one in Birmingham, the
Yeah.
ties in the HQ.
But we was doing little on-site classes, so we would get someone who was on it, wanted to come on a class. They would come on a real job with us, and they would see it from start to finish, and that's how we done it. So they'd come onto our job, they would help with our job. They'd have hands-on experience. Be one of us that always in their ear roll, taking them to one side, going through things, because it takes a bit of time to to click, because at the start it's baffling, and you think of, because you've got all different products at different ratios, at different consistencies, at different pigmentations,
Yeah.
and you've got
It's a lot to take
it's
in.
a lot
Yeah.
to take in. So it does click, but I know how to make it click now. Of all the trainings that I've done, I know how to feed it into you, and then to come back to it. And when I come back 2 or 3 times to it, at first you're baffled.
It
You
make
know
more
that,
sense,
but,
yeah,
but,
though.
but
Yeah.
we move on forward,
Yeah.
and we keep going through, and then we drop back, and then
It's that thing, and you say something X amount of times, or you do something X amount of times, it then becomes second nature to you.
When he taught me, Lou, I struggled with the ratios, the maths.
Yeah,
Even
'cause
though I've been in flooring my whole life, that's all I know.
Yeah.
I struggled. And then one day, I don't know what it was, it just clicked.
Right.
And it's like tattooed on my brain.
It's in there now.
You could ask me pretty
Yeah.
much anything and I could work the maths
Because I
out.
suppose, like you say, it can be a chemical reaction, can't it?
Yeah.
You get them wrong, and it can
Yeah,
be.
you
Not
get
what they
obsessed
thought, the whole place blows up.
no. But I'll tell you what does happen. Nate.
Bang!
I'll tell you what does
If you
happen.
leave it in a bucket in mass, it will start smoking up, and then
Does it?
it'll
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
bucket,
Yeah.
in the
Generates
bucket,
heat.
and it looks
Yeah.
like it's going to blow up. There's smoke coming off it,
bottom of the tube,
and you don't want to breathe them
That's
fumes
like
in.
that.
Really?
And at that
But if
point,
it's laid out on the
and
floor,
at that
you're
point, it's
right.
the only point of toxicity that it will cause is when it overheats. So
Does it give off a lot of fumes, when you're fitting it, when
No.
you're laying it?
no,
Does
because
it not?
it's not. Only when it reacts and it comes to its heating point in mass. That's when it will give off a vapor you don't want around you. So,
Right.
so you get that. You get that out. You get that out. But there's a couple of materials. It's become a lot more eco-friendly now. There's a lot of plant-based coming through as
Right,
well.
okay, yeah.
So there's a lot eco-friendly. Before it used to be was frowned upon because of the
VOC.
the VOC.
It's very low VOC now.
But now it's very
Very
low
What's VOC?
It's also got the chemicals in it that are used are a lot more eco-friendly than what
Right,
they was
okay.
years ago.
Yeah.
So it's become more of household. It's into European standards. Before it had no.
Cancerous chemicals.
Does it burn you if you get it on you? Nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
Sticks
You
don't.
you can be intolerant to it, so you can get some people.
If it's going off in a cup, it will burn you. It's
yeah,
massive. So if you're going off in a cup, it'll burn you, but not when it's
Yeah.
When it's spread.
laid
Not
out.
when it's spread. So the idea is when you mix it, you want to get it on the deck, and you can leave it there.
Yeah.
45 minutes, but if you leave that same thing in that pot, that'll be red hot and vapouring in 6-7 minutes.
Right.
Because it's the mass volume
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. You got to, it's just knowing, like we've done it before, haven't we? And we've knocked up this product, and we've had stuff left over, and all of a sudden,
Yeah. Well, because you just forgot that you've stacked it there.
you stacked it
When we
there.
first saw it happen, we never saw it happen before. Get it out!
Chucking it straight out.
Chucking it straight
So you've
out.
done the whole Miami thing and the Ibiza thing and all that, and then you've gone, right, we're going to get this training centres up and running. And
Yeah, we was already, that was in motion, and then in July, August, we come in with a couple of other friends of ours who sort of started at the same sort of time as we did. We was friends. We was friends at the start, but they was this side of the country,
Yeah.
Birmingham, and we was in London.
Yeah.
And he was doing. I met him about a year and a half into our journey, didn't I? Into our resin journey. But over that, you speak to people, don't you? How you doing resin up here? Doing resin,
yeah.
You get ideas from each other. You chat to each other, build up a friendship. Well, they had a go. They set a training centre up in Birmingham. They had a go at setting it up. Bit camera shy. Just ordinary yellow pages don't work no more, do they?
no.
So it wasn't getting out there, and had to shut the doors. And they said, "Look,
So they couldn't get any uptake on it.
they was getting enough, but they wasn't getting."
See, this is where the socials come in massively.
massively.
Hugely.
Massively, and that's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
That's all we've ever done is just do a little bit of that. We've never done anything else, and it's been word of mouth since the rest
Half
of
our
it.
work, most of our work's Instagram, isn't it?
Or most of word of
Most
mouth.
So if you say about your work being Instagram and
and
you've
word of
not
mouth,
massive,
and obviously word of mouth for all the clientele
the
and stuff like that.
circles,
Yeah.
and like you've just done bits for Dapper Laughs, haven't you?
Yeah,
So what have
but-
you done? What was that yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yeah,
So
I
what are you
designed
doing
it
there then?
yesterday. Well,
Is
we're
it a
doing-
comedy thing? He's
So it's like a
setting
comedy
up?
club venture, a bar of a daytime, sort of coffee club, bar of a night time, and
Right.
a comedy club, and they're just going to rent the space out. But we've done the VIP booth, the stage, and then they've done the chairs.
We're
the
doing all
bottom of the
fibre.
dreads.
We're doing all fibre optic bars
On
from
the bar,
next. We're putting all
next.
fibre optics underneath the resin.
So it'll light it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lights
lights
up.
out,
Right, okay.
sparkly.
And then we're
across
doing
it.
his nightclub.
like a Rolls Royce roof,
And then
Oh, yeah.
we're doing his nightclub
In Clapham.
which
which we're holding the masterclass for. But I don't
So
know
we
if
get-
it'll be out by then. This podcast.
So it'll be a good one for people to try and get into the game. So we're going to have a masterclass coming out on his nightclub. We've got enough time, days on there. They can come down. It's good for their portfolio. They can work with us. They can design the floor with us. So we'll go through design techniques. We'll oversee them. They can do the work, design it. Great for their portfolio. We've done this with them. Do you know
And
what I
then
mean?
what about car floors? Did you say Lamborghini? Have you
Yeah.
you done something with them?
So then what happened was then I went over to Holland, the company that I was working with, the supplier, and they asked would I mind going out to Holland and would I like to go out to Holland and train. I've been to Miami training with them. Would I like to go down to Holland to go and train? So we went over there, 30, 30 people. So I went over to there. I thought it was going to be a language barrier here. It's great. It was great. They come from all over Europe, and we had a great.
For you to train them up?
Yeah, so it was me and a couple of others there. The supplier was there. The guy who was hosting it was there, and he was fairly new. He was fairly getting into it himself, and they invited us. So we went over there, give it the big one over there. And
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
got on the same energy. They loved it. There was one guy there from Italy.
Yeah.
Looked like a little mafia. With that, he's got in touch.
He was looking at what you was doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Looking what he's doing. Come on the training course.
Right.
Didn't really too interested in doing it himself. He was just looking and seeing what it was about. Got friendly with our guy. So with that, would we like to go out to Italy to go and do Lamborghini? They got a 60th anniversary for the 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, come on, let's go. So we was going to the gala. So we went to do some artwork for him. And then we went and done. Then we was getting invited to the gala after it finished. So the 60th
At Lamborghini at Maranello?
Museum. The first ever Lamborghini, the first workshop.
And you've done the floor there?
We've done the table. We've done our artwork. There's there is a space in there that the floors was going to be done. We never done the floors. So we done the table, we done a ballroom table, we done some artwork. That was good enough. Part of the family.
Yeah, you're in.
Give us a trophy. Got us on stage, presenting
Chucked
it.
you a car each, job done.
Still waiting for mine.
Still waiting. It's about this big, is it?
Hot Wheels one.
And then we done that. And then
But just to be asked by a company as renowned as doing all your Ibiza stuff and celebs and all that, especially for me as a car guy, to be asked by Lamborghini to go and put that down.
Prestigious. isn't
We're
it?
off
Oh,
to different
massively.
So and then I went back to Miami, didn't we?
Then we went to
December?
Miami in December. You went back
then
to
we-
Miami again to do another class. They invited us over
It was
again.
so close to Christmas. I said to the missus and the kids, I mean, I ain't been around all year. And they said, Dad, do you still live with us? It's
Really? Yeah, because you said how many days is it you've been at home?
37 last year.
37 days spent the night at home.
So then I said, right, we'll go out there as long as we go with the kids and the missus.
Yeah, yeah.
So we went out there together. We went out there, didn't we? It was
Yeah.
probably the last time. Harry's got his own missus now. He's got his own house.
Lucky, is it still the same one from Ibiza?
Yeah.
Is it still that one? She's around then.
So it was like one of them times. It was Christmas time, and the year had been gone. I'd done a year of sobriety, and I was coming to the
Well done.
end, and it was my last little thing. I was looking at my kids there. My 4 kids were there. My wife was there, and I was thinking to myself, this is probably one of the last time I'm going to be on my own with the missus and all the kids together, because next time he's
yeah.
have his own kids, he's going to have his
Yeah, yeah.
missus.
Glad you've done that.
And it was
Yeah,
like,
that's it, though.
yeah, done it. So it was worth it. We
Good.
went out
He
there. It was,
deserved it. All them 37
Yeah.
nights shed in bed, it was well worth
it was a bit hit and miss the work we done out there, because it wasn't. The guys were great. We done a bit of training. We was meant to be going to do some work floors out there. Materials weren't delivered, so it was we had a bit of a wasted time.
Right.
But it weren't good. We had
We've done a class.
Experience,
We've done a
innit?
class out there, which is
the
3
weather
days.
was. We landed. Listen to this. Oh,
Where-
listen to this. I said, "What do you want to do out in Miami?" He said, they got a good lineup at Space tonight, biggest club in the world.
it. I've made you go.
Right.
Go.
He's running
Got to go.
So we've been flying all day. Me and the missus, the kids. Got a big, nice villa, swimming pool, and all that. So gone in there. Can't get tickets. I've rung my mate in America on that before. Can you get any tickets for Space? He said, no, man, you're not getting no tickets for that. That's sold out months ago. He said, guess what I've got? I went, what?
Oh, you don't tell me you went on Instagram.
He went 2 tickets, right? He's got them from one of his mates from my beefer.
Nice.
Anyway, so literally I just got there, put the bags in. Babe, I'm going out to Miami all night. All night. What do you mean? I've never been to
banging out all
America.
night.
We're in America, like.
Yeah.
So me and him jumped in a taxi, went to
Love
Miami, got back in at 7 o'clock in the morning. Straight to the swimming pool. All the kids were already up. I walked in.
we didn't have
went
the
to
car
bed.
this day, luckily.
We went out. They were still up. And we went to bed. I said, "You've been up as well." We've been to bed all night. I was like, "Oh."
But it's nice seeing you two as a father and son doing that, doing everywhere you've been, building that company up to where you've got it now, and then taking your mate on and your mate. And
Oh, we've nearly had some roll arounds
Oh,
in
yeah.
resin in
Oh,
our
I
time.
can imagine
We've
this.
nearly had some roll around in
I
resin.
can imagine it's not all.
Don't be deceived.
Yeah.
We've had it on the floor in mid-flow doing a floor.
Oh, how many times have you sacked him? How many times have you told you to fuck off?
Exactly
You've
that.
had it all.
We've had it all, haven't we?
Yeah.
Are you wasting time? I think that some of you probably are, and I have a solution for you. Nobody wants to do any type of admin. Now, I have a solution for you, and it is called Tradify. It's a fully automated job scheduling, invoicing, and quoting all in one place. Now, that software is going to save you 12 hours a week, and all by using a simple software solution. Now, you can try it for 2 weeks, absolutely free, no cards needed, and you'll even get support in person from Tradify themselves. Now, when you're done, you can always come back to me and thank me, but just enjoy the extra 12 hours that you're going to gain from just using the software.
So where do you think, just sort of summing up the whole thing you've got going, I personally think, and we spoke about it before we started recording, you boys have got to get onto the socials. Just with the stories that you've got and the socials. Even if you had someone follow you, just went to someone, look, you're doing a bit of videography, what you do visually, just pay someone, have someone to follow you around, a couple of jobs.
What you told me earlier, I mean, even what I've seen of your socials, of your YouTube, crazy. It's gone. I mean, we just do little silly videos.
That was very raw,
on
isn't it?
Instagram. It's very raw.
It's just
There's no
Instagram,
editing.
there's no editing, straight up, little real.
But yours, you haven't got that massive following
we haven't got
yet.
a massive following.
But I'm telling you, honestly, don't you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
What you've got and the bond that you lot have got, and I'm sure the other teams and the training things and everything, you would absolutely fly with the socials.
Thank
honestly, if I come and see you in a year's time and you had done it, I guarantee you would be absolutely
Might
fine.
have to come and get some advice and some tips.
Honestly,
from you guys.
visually, what you do is amazing.
Thank you.
Um,
It's also what you do as well.
Oh, thank you. See, I got there in the end. I was plugging into that. Cheers, cheers. So,
Real
just
plumbing.
to sort of sum it up, then, in what's the future holding for you as a business? You seem to be pretty much.
We ain't started.
Have you not? You are literally going.
Not started. Not started.
Just about to set sail,
Not,
innit?
not. So
You
look,
literally just putting the
we-
masts up.
We have got some exciting things in the pipeline.
Have you?
Yeah, got some exciting things coming. It makes it gives me, and I've got
Keeps
I've got-
it exciting,
I
doesn't
can't
it?
do this forever. I mean, I've got to have a game plan. I've got to have an out. I've got to get back home with the family. I can't do this forever. He can.
So as long as you fly him everywhere.
So the game plan is we've got a couple of years of doing this, couple of more just doing this, and then I will get back home with something I'm going to do at home. I told you a little brief of it earlier. So that is the game plan. That's the big picture in my head. And
Are
then
you planning on building your company and taking more blokes on? And
one in every town.
right, okay.
Yeah, so eventually, I want to expand. I want everyone to jump on. I want to try and get the youth in. I want to get them off the computers. I want to get them into start creating again. Even if it's art balls, even
Arts
if
and
it's pottery,
crafts.
painting, arts and
That's
crafts.
the thing we haven't even touched on. Is art? You said when you came in here. I'm
You
going to
didn't
do us
touch
a bit
any
of
of your artwork.
We're looking at having the tabletop
Yeah,
done.
well,
You're
yeah.
going to do us one.
Yeah, do.
But it's not that. If you've got a real nice house, you can have artwork on the walls.
We do,
What
yeah.
you do is
Endless.
it's endless, isn't it?
Stones,
From
stones,
so
some
much stuff you
tiny
can do.
coasters up to massive
100%
houses.
massive
and
fish.
floors.
See how big you want to make it. How
And
big you
even
wanna-
with us,
how big
we
you
got
wanna do it.
we got a few days till another job. We finished a job early, or one's been rescheduled, or whatever. We'll go up to the workshop and we'll make river
Just do
tables, or we'll
sampling,
make
just start doing example
Testing,
balls,
isn't it?
testing
Set a
around,
play about,
testing new designs out,
New ideas, new things, what you
Cut
think are going to
different
work.
things to do with
cutting
spray
the shape out of
paint,
MDF and resin in
Doing
it.
what
And
you want
everyone
on
loves it. Put it on the wall. And it's like, really?
beach
But
table. What did you do that
Yeah.
day? We had a lady in St
St.
Ives.
Ives.
And you cut out
The
the river
coastal line of St.
coastal,
Ives.
the coastal with St Ives and
Oh,
made
no,
the
St.
beach
Ives,
table.
yeah.
But
So-
actually drilled out the St Ives coastal line, put actual sand on it, and then made it look.
oh, that's it. Yeah,
the-
I made a beach table. So we went to
Beach
St Ives
table.
last week. This lady bought a house in St Ives.
I think you've travelled more in this podcast than I probably have in my whole life. Miami, Barcelona, Ibiza,
Where have we been
St. Ives,
stationed?
Scotland.
Brighton, Birmingham,
today.
London, Brighton, Birmingham.
That just today?
Yeah, just
Where did we go last
that's
week?
just
though?
today.
Last week
Where
was-
did we go last
Last
week?
week
He's
was
lost.
here, Sheffield, Birmingham.
Oh yeah, that was a mad one. Yeah,
And
that was
then we
horrible.
think of
And Brighton.
And then back home, all between Monday and Friday,
Yeah.
and
Mental
doing 800
boys.
square metres of ceiling and floor.
And I was
in
home by
between.
Sunday. I was still home by Sunday.
Love it.
That's what I say. We're going to go out.
The team you've got, like I touched on at the start, the
Savages,
team you've got
isn't it?
who are employed, it's very much a family vibe. You can get that.
It is. It's got to be that because we can't have any one of it. We've got to be on the same path. We've got to be trusting the other person as much as the next.
Yeah.
And you've got to be savages. You've got to be in it because we're not stopping, and it's got to go. And if you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, I understand. If you're not, understand.
Yeah.
And we've had a few people come and go.
Yeah.
All for it, passionate. Can't hack it. Do you know what I mean?
Can't handle it. Can't handle
The
it.
fucking flying around the country. I suppose the time is the big. You might find the best.
It's like going to war again. Your missus is
Yeah.
crying at the
You
door.
might find the best guy out there, but if he can't do the hours that you want your team to
A
do,
lot of people like being home.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I don't blame him. I can see that.
Like,
If you're
stay away.
No. Listen, there is, of course it is. You're away a lot, and it's all you have all fun and games, and then there is lonely times, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I'm so
yeah, I bet there is points in it where you are.
I'm missing a
Trying to
lot.
get home.
I'm missing
Yeah.
a lot at the minute
I
now.
live
Do you know what I
in
mean?
Yeah.
My little one's growing up. She's
And that
my
is
youngest.
something, not to put a dampener on it, that is something that you cannot put a price on.
Exactly that. And for me, where I was so used to being in a 3 mile radius of doing what I was doing, to now I'm just not around. And I was around when he was a kid every single day, and he's had the best of me. And I've got my other 3 children now. One's 15, one's 12, and one's 6.
Yeah.
And the
I
6-year-old.
was going, that's a crucial age now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a crucial age, man. I'm missing out on a bit, but I've got to keep my head on. I've got to say, right, it's for them. This is a game
Yeah.
plan. I've got to stick to it because I don't mind doing this for you,
Yeah.
but it's got to go that way. It's got to go that way. So I can't. I've got something in my head. We're far in. We've got to go. We've got to go. We've got whatever it takes. It's got to happen because I've got to. My head is to make it easier for them later
Yeah.
on, and make it easier for these boys' children. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where we've got to be.
Well, I think what you're doing and what your team are like. It's just brilliant.
Thank you.
I've
Thank you very much.
genuinely thoroughly enjoyed this podcast.
So have I.
I enjoy it.
Honestly,
Love it
really,
well.
we get fortunate to get so many different people in here from so many different trades, but listening to your story and everything about it, I've loved that.
Thanks for having us
Absolutely
on,
loved
mate.
it. I had a load of questions on here. Forget them. Listening to the raw,
We got time. We
no,
got
listen to
time.
the rawness of that was brilliant. I know Nate's got some questions, but what sort of time are we on?
We got
Jack?
time.
About an hour 20 we've been going.
We all right? We all right for a bit?
feel like
Well, in
about
that-
half an hour.
Yeah.
In that case,
got
then,
time.
we'll
Let's
bang
carry
some
on
questions
going.
out.
Let's
Let me-
carry on
I was
going.
just-
Toilet before
I
you
was
start
just-
the questions.
yeah, if you want to have
Let's have a
this.
quick wheel and we'll do some questions.
So how many is there all together in your...
6, including Leon
So,
and
so you've got you
Saj
4 and 2
and
others.
2 others, and we've had.
What about the missus? Do they do it? They do
My
anything
missus,
behind
my,
the...
so my missus works. My missus works now in. She was a school teacher.
So, but she's not affiliated with your company. She doesn't.
Yeah, she
oh,
is
she is.
now. Yeah. So she's in our workshop now. So she's in there. We've got a product line going. So she's in there doing that. She'd also look after our books and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Invoices.
That sort of thing, keeps on top of all that.
So she does all the important stuff then, the stuff that none of us as tradespeople like doing, the book work and all that. She does all that.
Thank you, Stace.
Thank you, Stace.
Shout out to Stace.
Shout out to Stacey.
Pay rise coming for you, Stace.
But no, she and it's as we say, she's on the same band as me. She can see it, and I think she's got to see it because if no one else was staying for it, I don't know any of my friends and missus would say. Your husband's right to go out and just come home for 37 days of the week,
Yeah.
you know, of the month, of the year,
Yeah.
month, the year. But so she believes in it like we do, and we've got a monster in our head that we're going to create to come.
Yeah. But surely that's the same with you and you families and girlfriends and whatever, and you've got to put it to them that you're going to be working away.
Yeah,
and, you know, not many people would allow their other halves to work in Ibiza for 3 weeks. You know, at fucking nightclubs.
It's not a choice.
Yeah.
But then,
We can't give them a choice.
but,
They're
then,
going.
but then when we do have a special event up, like recently we was up to Scotland.
Yeah, they all
up
come
to-
up with us.
up to-
I flew my girlfriend out to Ibiza music.
He only flies, doesn't he? I mean, he only flies.
He only fly.
Fucking hell, he's like...
Can't be looking at private jets.
He just tells me what to do. But he's like the dad and I'm like the son. He tells me off all the time. He tells me off.
But it's all like you say, you get them events or them jobs that you do, and you know you do high end stuff. So you're going to be invited to parties. You take the wives, the girlfriends, someone else's wives, maybe at times. You never know. But it's all about the rewards of doing. It's all about doing the rewards of that work, isn't it? It pays off, and the time away from your families, and then reaping the benefits of, like you say, walking past Van Houten in the queue. See you later, Denise.
See you later.
I'm getting in here.
Bonjour.
Floors open doors.
Floors open. Again, merch line, boys. You've got to have it. Floors open doors. If I can do all right with real world plumbing, straight down the lens, you can do all right with floors open doors, honestly. But yeah, final thoughts. So what we do at the end of the podcast is final thoughts. What do you want to get out to people who are interested in getting into this trade? Obviously, you've got your training centre. Centre or centres?
Centre.
Just the one at
Just the one, but we hold classes around. So anyone who's on a following, they can't just come down to Birmingham, so they might be in Scotland
Yeah.
or wherever they are. So if we've got a job coming up, we'll announce it. If we've got a big job coming up and we know we can have people there, then we'll do an on-site class. So people can come onto our on-site class for the whole process, and then they will come onto the class with us. We'll treat it as a course, but on a job site.
But you're doing the actual job.
But you're doing it, we're mucking
So would they be able to get hands-on
Hands-on.
on that job?
Yeah, hands-on.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
You wouldn't let little Johnny design it. Yeah.
Fill your boots.
So
mate.
that again, that's the thing where yeah, get over there.
Yeah.
Again, that's where you're doing a job for that customer. They're paying X amount of money, but you're willing to get lads, girls up and go get hands on with this job.
Yeah.
You're literally
We're-
throwing them straight
we're there,
in.
but with them also send them their own pliables, their own samples, so then they'll do it off the side or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll tell the client, we've got a job here. Or another attractive way of how to do it is if you've got a big place and
Where the meterage is
and the
big.
meterage is big and the client is a lot of budget, so what you do is you discount the budget and you get a few trainers to come in because that helps subsidise for the training and for the job, and it also then, if we train 10 people and we get one good person in that part of the country, then that's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
so you're sort of training him up and then picking the cream.
You got it.
You got this lad or this girl's got something about her. We'll keep hold of her.
You got it.
Or him. And when we get a job coming up in North Wales or whatever,
Like
we've got a guy
scouting?
there. Yeah, literally.
scouting.
I can see you. Well, it won't be you because you'll be in the plane. You'll be in a car. Transfer deadline day. You'll be pulling into car parks. Right, we need you. We need you in Wales. We got this one.
Quite a few have gone on to do their own things, aren't they?
And do you
quite a
still
few-
stay in
yeah,
contact with
yeah.
them?
We do a
Almost
WhatsApp
on
group with
a
every
daily
single one of our
basis.
groups where they all come into a WhatsApp group and we all
Any problem.
And then they
problems,
got a full
share
technical support.
problems.
So what I don't want people to do is to train people up. They call a job on and they go and fuck it up. So I say to them, you got a job that is at your depth, call us up. It's your job. You have the money on it. Give us a little wage for coming along. One of us will come or I'll come. We'll get you over across the line. We'll get you across the line. It's your job. And then we see it
And
through
you're
with
happy to send one of your boys up?
Of course I am. If it
Brilliant.
helps them, of course I am. Yeah,
See,
100%.
even that is
It's well.
commendable. That you're willing to train these people up, let them go out, and then if they need anything from you, we'll send one of our
I'll
lads.
say
It can be daunting on the first few jobs, you know what I mean?
Someone-
yeah.
From a
And
training
get
centre,
overwhelming.
And let's have it right.
surrounded by people to being on your own.
Yeah, it's like when you pass your driving test, and the first time you drive on your own, you're like, I can do it. I know I can do it, but
And let's
shit,
have it
I'm on
right.
my
Anyone
own.
looking for a new career, there's something not right in their current career. There's something not right that they're trying to get out of something. So they're in there. They're there for a reason. So why not? I don't want to set them up to fail. I want to set them up to grow, to get on with it, and to give them the best technical support they can have. After we're not always right. We're all learning all the time. I'm willing to go wherever if I can learn one thing. If there's a training course on somewhere across the world that I think that's could be benefit to us, I'll go there. And if I can get one little thing out of that to bring it up to improve us, and we'll do that. Yeah. Whatever. And it's the same with other people. I don't want them to set them up to fail. And you've got to stop looking at the money. I say this to everyone. The money, it's not about the money, but it is about the money. We've got to pay our bills. But that's the number one passion, number one drive has got to be is the job.
You've got to love it, haven't you?
Gotta
If
love
you
it.
don't have a passion or a love for whatever you do,
No.
You ain't get no enjoyment out of it.
Life's too
you're
short.
going to wake up in the morning and go, fucking hell, I've got to go and do that.
Scotland today.
Whereas you boys you probably don't even sleep by the sounds of it. You boys will get up in the morning and you'll be buzzing for what's coming
Let's
up.
go. The tunes are on. I mean, I don't know if you see us on the stories. I do quite a bit of stories. Harry don't. Only on Insta. The reason why I do stories is because I give up alcohol for a year and I was in a bit of a bad place. And then I gathered some followers in that who mean quite a lot to me now. I mean, I've got friends on our Instagram that I've never met before from all around the country and some around the world.
Yeah.
And they liked, it wasn't about the resin, it was just something to look at, but I think they enjoyed seeing the journey of where we sort of started and the path that I was on. I mean, I lost 4 stone in the last 12, 13 months. I should probably see that somewhere as well. I'll show you that. So I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And got my head back in the game, and it was reaping the rewards. It was working. So people followed that for that show. And we've got our followers who wish us good morning, how we doing, send us nice messages, and it's quite nice for them because I've been speaking to them. They've been struggling with certain things, and we had someone come on our training course. We had a training course up in Birmingham. We were Scotland. We was all on this, and we invited some people to come up on the training course.
Was this on a job?
This was on a job.
Yeah.
We had a big job
Yeah.
in Scotland. Then we had 6 people come on as trainees to come and having a taste of epoxy resin. We were all one night. We've all gone for dinner and we're all round having something to eat and having a laugh. And this guy said to us, "See you." He said, "You saved our life." I said, "What?" I don't remember. I said, "We talked. I've never met you before." He said, "You was away in Ibiza, 3 o'clock in the morning. You was doing the floor, and the phone. And I messaged you, and then you messaged me back, and I was talking to you for. Wait a minute. I was talking to you for a couple of hours. I remember sitting on the side. It was a long trip. I wasn't drunk, but we was busy. But I was sitting on the side. Diggs lot was working, saying, "Come on, hurry up! I'm talking to someone. Shut up!" Like, come on. And he was in a dark place.
You was on the phone to him?
I was on the phone. I rang him
Right.
up through Insta.
Right,
Pressed
okay.
the button and he's answered. And I was on the phone to him for an hour and a half, and he was in a dark place. I've been there. And from that, he said, "You saved my life." And I cried my eyes out.
And he's now on that training course with you?
Yeah. And he's doing resin.
We forgot about it till we mentioned
Then he mentioned it.
comes
Yeah,
out.
me.
Yeah.
No,
As long as
you.
speaking
He went,
to-
yeah.
And how did that make you feel
It
then?
was all worth it.
It made us all cry, didn't it?
Really?
Yeah, we all went. It was funny. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Someone he was going to kill himself, and only coming back saying, "You stopped. You was the reason why I didn't."
So
do it,
that
it's 'cause of
night,
us."
I was debating. I see one of your videos come on, and then I've replied to him, and then we got talking on the phone.
Just that little reply can make
So
a
whatever we've
massive
done,
difference.
everything's come forward. That was worth it just for that.
So how did that go after that then? Did he carry on doing it?
he's carrying on doing it.
Yeah,
he's a friend
he
of
texts me
ours.
still now. He's carrying. He's done a few floors. Done 2 or 3 floors.
He's Aaron, isn't he?
Yeah.
Aaron. He's a lovely lad. He come all the way up from where was he from?
Manchester.
Manchester, that was it. And he come all the way up to Scotland with us, and we had a great time. We had a great week in Scotland, and we've got some other friends in Scotland, and we're back up there next week. So I'm going to go to Noreen next week. So we've got Noreen, if you can hear this, you'll watch this, Noreen. We've got a fan called Noreen.
Big up Noreen.
She's absolutely lovely. She texts us every day. She comments on every job. Her husband was a floor tiler, similar sort of. We used to go and do a lot of travelling.
She will watch this now.
And she will watch this.
Shout out to Noreen.
Shout out to Noreen. And I'm going to drop her something off there next week. So we're going to see. I've never met her, but
You got to do it.
Oh, you've never met her?
You got to do it now.
She's
You
been like a
said
super
it.
fan.
So how did is this through Instagram?
Yeah,
She just got.
she texts us every day.
Every
Morning,
story.
lad.
Wow.
This,
She's
you
there.
guys bring me life.
And then some days,
Brilliant.
some days you don't feel yourself. You're not like yourself. You're not
It'll
yourself
text
today.
you
Noreen.
Noreen.
You're
Noreen,
right.
What do you know about her then? What do you?
She was a lady that she's split with her husband.
I think she's got a husband.
She had a husband, no, but she had a husband, and she had her husband worked away a lot.
Yeah.
And she related to the same sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. See, that's why sometimes the socials can be a shit place.
They can also bring everything together.
But
as
they
well.
can, they sport your man who was in a dark place. Sport Auntie Noreen out.
Auntie Noreen.
Yeah.
And we got a few other friends on there. But so I just do. So the thing is, I just do little stories during the day because I like to do. I think it's a laugh, and you see him, I have a joke, and I have a laugh. And some people know me might cringe. And I used to think his mates usually must have can you up to them videos,
But no. So final thoughts then.
Final thoughts.
Moving forward, final thoughts about what do you want to say? If you could say to someone wanting to get into the game,
right?
What sort of advice would you give from all just perspectives of things, from coming from a carpet, a floor laying sort of background, sparkying, what would you want to say to anyone coming in or trying to get into it?
Don't be restricted to thinking you've got that one job for the rest of your life. Like I thought I'd done my apprenticeship, got qualified in electrics, thinking that was going to be the job I'd do for the rest of my life.
How long did you do it for?
So it was 5 years.
5 years in, and then went.
5 years. I literally got qualified, and within like that, the year after I got qualified, just kind of lost the love for it. And then Harry just said, "Do you fancy doing this?" And I weren't planning to do it for like. I just thought, might as well just give it a crack, and that was
Tops up. He's super creative and super good at it.
Yeah,
Right.
so just about 15 months later, and it's all just changed.
Great all-rounder.
Yeah, a bit of an all-rounder.
He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all right. And he does the
He'll
job.
get a plane
doesn't he?
soon. He'll get on the plane
No, I
soon.
want the plane.
Oh, you want the plane,
I want
yeah.
the plane
Of
offers.
course you are.
We live about 5 minutes from each other, so he gets away.
Whatever he does, I get away with as well.
Nice.
But no, yeah, for anyone who wants to get into it, just try it. It doesn't. It's not really got an age cap on it. If you want to try
And it's relatively new. It's still a new thing, isn't
and
it?
it ain't just the floors as well. It's the arts and crafts of it. It's all the little moulds you
It's
can
the
do.
river
It's the
tables,
river tables.
the
It ain't
doors,
just floors.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to go and do a big floor, you can do little arts and crafts. All the girls and that make coasters, healing stones. Send us what you can
You
do.
could stay in your garage and earn a good living from
I was
it.
going to say you could just sell artwork and
do it
tabletops.
all on
and-
Etsy, doing coasters, chopping boards. stuff
Chopping
like
boards
that.
are massive.
People love them.
Chopping
River
boards,
tables,
coasters,
I love a
yeah,
river
just
table.
River
I love
tables,
river
all
table.
for all the chippies out there. They love making wood, river tables.
It'll take a bit of time. You're not going to get rich overnight, but they take time to like anything. Once you create your style, everyone's got their own style.
Yeah.
And it's the same for us. We might not be the best in the world. We might not be the best, but we've got our own style going on, and
Yeah.
certain people like that style that you're doing.
But yeah, so if you want to get into it, you've obviously got your training classes that you're doing.
We've got
so-
we've got a training centre. As I say, we've got one in Birmingham. You're welcome. We do a 3-day intensive training class. We use a product, XPS product, and it's a City and Guilds assured course. As I say, we've been training all around the world, and just come and see our take of it. You're welcome to come down. It's a taster class. We also do 1-day taster classes as well. So recently I went to the UK Flooring podcast, Cockeroo & Co, big northern flooring company.
Right.
We was frowned upon. Let me just go quick this one. We was frowned upon about the real floor laying industries.
Yeah, the old boys frowned upon what he was doing.
Like resin.
So we put it to them. Well, we don't like that rep. This is new modern. This is the new era. This is the future floors. So let me show you what we do. Couldn't have showed you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but we're in place now to show you. Went up there, we went on the podcast, topped up. We had generated a lot of interest. They invited us to go up to their workshop. Me and Stuart went up with a load of colours, a load of resin one day. Thinking, here we go, Stuart. And he had to come with me because he knew the technicals about where they're going to hit him with the side of things that maybe I didn't know everything on. So I went up there. They loved it. They've got us up there again next month, and then more of them. They've come on our training course now, haven't they, Alex? And
so you've opened their eyes up to.
Open their eyes.
Some people are stuck in the mud, aren't they? They think their way's their only way.
Stuck in their ways.
Yeah. Whereas you just give them that little bit, of what you're doing, and if they're willing to just go, stand back and go, okay, let's have a look.
Yeah.
I think if you don't think about it as well, I mean, you've got to be humble still. You've got to keep your head on and don't get too big for your boots. You've got to say, like, we all have a good days, we'll have our bad days. And if you do it wrong, sometimes if something happens wrong, you've got to hold your hands up and you've got to warrant it and you've got to deal with it. Yeah. And that comes with experience, doesn't it? That comes with experience.
No one knows everything, do they?
The only good thing about resin is if you actually do it all laying the floor, you can't mess it up. You can mess it up with pigment and stuff like that, but there's no right or wrong way to design a floor.
Because it's art.
It's art. There is no right or wrong way. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people have different takes. It's something for everyone.
It's your own perspective,
It's your own perspective.
What you like, I might not like.
Exactly that.
How many floors that we've been at, Stu likes, I like, and then
Yeah.
Harry and Lou won't like. Or me and Harry are like.
It's a matter of opinion.
9 times out of 10, one of us won't like the floor.
And then as we go along, I mean, when a client hires us, they hire the company, they hire us. They don't say who's designing it.
Yeah.
But sometimes they say, I like your designs, Lou. Would you do it? So I say, Harry, I like when you've done this. So I say, Harry, you do that.
Could you look at something? Could you go, right, we're doing this pub, for instance, and it's an oldie worldy pub, should we say? Yeah. Would you go, Harry, that's your style?
100%.
We give credit. That's the good thing of us. There's no ego.
No egos.
We've all said this, all at the same level. If there's any problems, like say Stu's got a problem with me, and he'll say it. If I've got a problem with Lou, we get it out in the open.
Well, Stu's going to come back next week and tell us.
Yeah, well, it's more of the story.
It's been like Jeremy Kyle.
But it's like that's the good thing of us. If there's any problems, we just say how it is. There's no hiding, no bitching about, especially us four.
And that's what that's what the gel is with you.
Yeah,
you can see it. You can see that you'd have a straightener if there's a problem.
We're not scared to tell each other if you've done wrong or if you've done wrong. It's just one of them things.
We do spend a lot of time together, boys.
You spend a lot.
You've got to have the right relationship, ain't you, to spend the amount of time.
We've stormed off before. We've all got out of the cars. Feck you, we're off, and we've got that. And they don't, you know what I mean?
Stayed in the van, got
Give
flights
it a
home the
time,
next
we know,
day. Stayed in the van, got flights home the next day.
Walked off on the job, we've had a Barney, and everyone walks out and they go in the wrong and I've had to deal with it.
But then it's one of them, we always come back to each other a couple of hours later, we've all calmed down a bit, and we'll go, sorry. And then we start laughing again about what I was being idiots and saying sorry for.
No, I've thoroughly enjoyed this, boys. Thanks for coming along.
And
I might be coming up to a training centre soon to have a little go at it.
I'll tell you what, why don't you come and we'll do your tabletop there?
Get me to do the tabletop.
No, you can do the floor, and then we would do the tabletop together.
We'll do it together.
Yeah.
You can do the floor, we'll do the tabletop
We'll do it
together.
together. We'll
There
do
we
this
go.
together there.
That's the date.
Yeah?
Let's get that in the diary, boys.
That's the date.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed that, lads. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, everyone.